Track 2, All About You. Oh, wow. Thank you. Featuring Drew Down, Hussein Fatal, Yaki Gaddafi, Nate Dogg, and Snoop Dogg. Produced by Johnny J and Tupac. Well, they said, Mel, they said it's all about you. So are you going to be a narcissist and give this a high rating? And I said, listen, that's not what this is about. He wasn't talking about me. He was talking about the hoes. And as you know, Mel loves the hoes. 7 minus.
Folks, 10.
10?
10. My fourth 10.
I was playing it up. He told me this off air. I knew it was a 10. Like,
My fourth
this is a big moment, though. Your fourth 10.
My fourth 10.
It is unexpected, though, I must say, for me, because you told me off air a few days ago, and I was like, wow, really? This is, I mean, it's very early in the album. It's your favorite Tupac song?
Yes.
Wow.
It's the only Tupac song I give a 10 to.
Wow. So this is the 10 for Moles from Tupac. All About You. Who'd have thunk it? Well, I'm eager to hear about this. Because, you know, we didn't go too deep into it because, you know, we got a show to do. So we didn't talk about it on the phone that much. So talk to me. What's going on here? This is a 10.
It's a 10. It's a 10. Here's the thing about a 10, right? A 10 is like, it's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yes.
It's a perfect song to me.
Right.
So on the merits of the song itself, plus my personal feelings on it, I'm feeling 10. And I felt 10 for a long time about this one. This is the one that acts as a time capsule for me. It takes me back to that summer. This is the song that really takes me back the most out of all the songs. So it's like that nostalgic favorite for me. But it's also like musically my most favorite thing. And keep in mind, when I heard this for the first time, I had never heard Cameo before.
Right.
So, I mean, keep in mind, I heard this in the summer of 2001 for the first time. So I was not yet familiar with Cameo. And not to mention, there's something about this that, like, it can be a 10. Candy's a 10 for me also, by the way, I should mention.
Oh, the Cameo record?
The Cameo song that this is, is a 10. Just that, boom, 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 boom. It's like candy. Listen, okay? That alone is like a 10. You know, you have to understand I'm a funky man. Okay? I'm the tempo man, but I'm also
funky man.
So I'm the funky man as well.
Oh, come on.
So I'm loving the funk, but here's the thing. You get that boom, boom, boom. You get that, right? But there's also something running through this beat that's like the like California G-funk sound that, you know, can you play a little bit of All About You? You know what I'm talking about? It's like that.
Oh, yeah, all right. I'll hit you a little bit at All About You. Let me see. All About. This is Tupac folder. Let me see, Tupac. See, I don't know. This is a great time to mention this. Folks, in my personal file archive, I spell his name out. I've never done the 2.
I do the 2.
You do the 2?
He never put out music as his name.
He didn't, but I don't know. It's just a Mel thing. I don't know. I've always felt like the 2.
That's not the artist's wishes. I don't like that. That's not the artist's wishes.
I mean, do we know that the artist's wishes were to?
Yeah, because if it wasn't, he would just spell his name out if he didn't want.
Maybe the label told him, "Hey, that 2 looks cool, man. You should go with the 2."
Well, as far as we know, he was a big fan of the 2.
Well, we know he also had to sign with Suge Knight, who is a mobster. So, like, you know, Well, he was Tupac before Suge. I can't. I tried to make the argument. All right.
This guy Mools checked himself before I could even unmute my microphone, and Mools check him myself.
Oh man, you checked yourself?
No, you checked yourself.
Oh, I checked myself
before I could check you.
Before you could. Right. Oh, Mel checked. You said Mools checked himself, and I was like, you checked? Okay. Here's all about you, y'all.
Oh yeah, it's all about you. One time,
I'ma say it's all about you.
For the ones that think it's all about you. It's all about you.
Drew down in the house, you know, boy Pim's knock, you know what I'm saying?
It's all about you.
Yeah, I'ma say it's all about you, but you know, yeah.
You probably took it as the last trick.
Yeah, I heard you humming in the background.
You know,
I heard you.
So that's music right there. Okay, that's not Candy. That's not on Candy. That part doesn't. Only the boom, boom, boom. That's from Candy.
Doing the bass line.
And
now,
what did they do? Got fucking Nate Dogg to go on and do an all-timer hook. Every other city
okay, listen.
Go.
This is an all-timer hook.
Yo. No matter where I go, I see the same hoe. Listen.
Yeah.
And even the fucking lead carrier gets off on this one. Is you sick from the dick, or is it the flu? It ain't about you or your bitch ass crew. Listen, everyone, listen. I know this. Even Snoop Dogg on the ad lib goes crazy. Okay, just everybody on this thing is giving out a top 10 performance of all time. The sampling, the rapping, the guests, the chorus, the beat. Let's just give it what it deserves. It's a 10. It is a 10. The Funky Man has spoken. And for the first time, a New York rapper gets a 10.
Oh, here we go. Look, all right, I'm going to cut you off right there, and I'll say this. It's nowhere near a 10 for me because while I agree the beat's great and the hook is an all-timer, those are the two things literally saving the record for me. It's not that Tupac was bad. I mean, where do I start? Well, first, I'll say this. You said it's an all-time hook. I agree because for years, this hook has been in my head because I mentioned in part one, I grew up like my mom would ride around to this album when I was like 3 years old. And that's probably where I first heard the hook. And it's very catchy. Every other city we go. And so for the past 28 years, that hook's been in my head, but I forgot what song it was from.
Right.
So when this came on this week, I'm like, oh my God, this is this. That's what this is. That's why I know this. And so I'll use that to segue. You said you used your first time being exposed to Cameo. You said summer 01.
No, I wasn't exposed to Cameo in the summer of 01. This is I was yet to be exposed to them in the summer of 01.
Right.
I probably wouldn't know about Cameo until like senior year of high school, maybe first year of college.
My God, that you well, good, because you know a young eye shouldn't see that man with like his candy red jockstrap. You know that's suggestive imagery. That's a funny looking dude. I love that dude.
Who are you talking about? Larry Blackmon?
Yeah, Larry Blackmon. Oh,
he's a legend. Okay,
he is. He's a legend. Absolutely. Don't get Mal wrong. He's a legend. Okay. But I will tell you this. My actual first experience with Cameo and this sample is actually
Big Willie style.
It's the same feeling.
Yep.
Let's get this started now.
But it doesn't sound the same though.
Do you want? It doesn't. But you know, it doesn't have the same.
That sounds a lot more like Candy.
Yes. Like a lot of things on that album are like
because
not
you get that G-funk, that woo, 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 woo,
right
over the Candy, and the Candy's really chopped if you think about it. It's just those boom, boom, those stabs that are like those bass stabs that are sort of sampled. But like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about because like Pac is flowing his ass off on here.
Well, here's the thing. You know what this comes down to?
How is this any different than how he's rapping on How Do You Want It?
Oh, don't go there. Don't do that. It's too don't do that. It's too early.
It's the same kind of record.
Listen, here's what it comes down to for me. There are two things. One, It's 50% personal bias, 50% the record itself. Now, here's the thing. I just played it. I will admit to y'all live here on the air, the Big Willie style candy is my preferred candy flip. Yes, it's on Jada Husband album. It is on Jada's Husband album. Will, I got you. I'm sure he'd love to know that.
You like the cuck Will Smith over the Chad Tupac. I'm not even listening to you
don't do that to Big Willard. I'm not even listening to you
anymore after that statement.
Well, you gotta understand, it's the one I said personal bias. It's the one.
On a 10, though, I'm not taking that lying down. This man told you. This man prefers the cuck.
When we get to that final verse of that version on Big Willow style, okay, everybody gonna understand. They're gonna say, you know what, Mel was right. But
Candy
we're not
Will
doing
Smith
that album.
Is not
we're
better
not doing
than
that
All
album.
About You, Mel. No, it is not.
Better. It's
no,
better.
it is absolutely not.
It's better.
You have bad, childish, Nick Jr. Disney radio opinions about rap. Nobody likes to hear them.
No. You are not
tweet.
going to shame me for liking upbeat music that does not disparage women. I won't allow it. I won't allow it.
So you don't like any songs on this album that disparage women?
That's not what I said. I said I won't let you. What did I just say? I don't remember. I don't remember what I just said. Listen. Okay, so here's the thing about this record. All right, I have a question before I get to the record itself because I want to pose this question to you because I feel like you might know. So apparently this came about because Pac was riding around listening to Cameo. He got to the studio and told the producer, "Hey, could you flip this?" My question is, how were they flipping things back then? Other than like vinyl, did they? Because here's the thing: we grew up in an era where we could go on the internet, download something, bring it in a digital audio workstation, and chop it up.
Yes.
If they didn't have the main point I want to make there is we had the whole music library at our fingertips. Yeah, it was piracy, but like if we wanted something, we could get it. Like, so did someone have to go out to a local record shop and like search for Candy by Cameo?
Well,
was it on hand at the studio?
I assume Pac had the CD.
Oh, maybe Pac. Okay, so I don't know why I assumed he was listening to the radio. So maybe Pac brought in the Cameo CD. Now, how were they flipping? Because they weren't using Pro Tools or like FL Studio or Logic or anything.
Yeah, but you can load the sample. You can essentially use like whatever the equivalent to like Audacity was back then to take the part that you want, put it on your memory, like save it as a wave, format it for the card for the MP. And you put it in the MP, and you only have like 8 seconds of sampling time or whatever it is back then. So you grab those stabs from the record, and then that's why they probably overlaid that adding extra elements on top because they only had so much to work with, basically. Look, you go back to like Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys or 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul, and we're talking about the 1980s. And even like, Eric B. and Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, all that stuff that we've reviewed already, some of those songs have like 4 or 5 samples on them.
True.
The drums are from here. Their scratches are from here. 2 samples layered on top of each other for the song itself, for the beat. There's an extra sample playing in the background for some reason.
Before memory cards, they probably had the MP could record. So like they would hook up the vinyl, go to the part and like record it. Or
connect a cable to the whatever like the receiver is. I guess you could record off cassette, CD, whatever it is, I would imagine.
Okay. I was just curious because, like, I grew up in an era I started making beats.
I wasn't there. I got to tell you.
Well, I know you weren't there, but you're older than me. I look at you as the big brother. You're wiser than me. I figured you might know.
We've heard stories about artists. We've heard about sample limitations. Why Jay Dilla did like essentially micro chopping. Stuff like that because you only have 16 pads and 8 seconds of sample time or something like that. Primo, obviously, like a wizard with that kind of stuff. But like the actual technical setup, I'm not like, I just wasn't there. By the time I started making music and being around people who made music, Pro Tools was something that was the standard, basically.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I started making beats in '07, I downloaded a crack version of FL Studio.
FL Studio, Pro Tools, Logic, like
yeah, right. So
that was all. That was all I really knew.
Right, same. So
Because I'm a fake
I just figured
musician.
maybe while I'm thinking about it, I want to say this because you said DJ Premier. You know what I found out today? Daniel doesn't like DJ Premier, and this goes out to Daniel.
You a bozo. That's on me.
Talking about is Dusty or something. All right.
Yeah, he is Dusty. That's a good word to describe him. But
yeah, the best Dusty.
He's what are we talking about? He's like top 5.
Yeah. So anyway, the record itself. So you draw comparisons to how do you want it?
I'm just saying the way he attacks, the same kind of subject matter is broached here, the similar kind of flow.
But here's the thing, man. Okay, you probably crooked as the last trick. Want to laugh at how I got my ass caught up with this bad bitch, thinking I had her, but she had me in the long run. It's just my luck. I'm stuck fucking with the wrong one. Okay, look, life music, I suppose. Danny never did me like that. Sure, but the music isn't all about me, I'm not going to call this incel music because these are situations that happen in life, I just don't need it. I don't need this subject matter, which is why he's mostly saved by the beat and the catchy chorus. And other than that, I can't really pin down. The chorus isn't really matching up with the okay, I try to holler, but you tell me you taking, saying you ain't impressed with the money I'm making. Guess it's true what they telling me. Fresh out of jail, life's hell for a black celebrity. So I'm like, what is actually happening on this record? Is this a warning to the listener to stay away from hoes? Is it a forlorn rejection record because he's a black celebrity mixed with bitterness from jail and being rejected by the girl? By the end of the song, I'm like, okay, I guess it's just about running game. Because throughout the record, he's hitting on her a bit. So it's but he's calling her a hoe in the chorus. So it's he doesn't really care about her, but he's telling her it's all about you. So am I right with that? It's just about running game.
Yeah, it's player shit, which I'm not surprised why you have a lukewarm response to it. And why
here's the thing. If I have to dig through because he's all over the place, it's I mean, is it players? It's partly, and then other times he's sad because
there's definitely a weird emotionality though. Nobody loved me. I'm a thug redacted. I only hang out with the criminals and drug dealers.
Great line.
There's a sort of, it's sort of bittersweet, as everything is on this album. This can't be an album where the feelings are not, the feelings are going to be complicated, number one. And number two, this is not a happy album. This is all eyes on me. Paranoia, anger, frustration, bitterness.
Right, and I like that about the album, for sure. It's just, like I was saying in track 1, some tracks, it works to its benefit, and other tracks, it's the lack of focus and sort of, just dumping everything in at once. It kind of, it's hard to, hold on to a theme for me in some songs. So it's I like lines nobody loves me, I'm a thug, nigga. I'm sorry to hear that, but I like that emotionality, but then it's you'll go back to calling them hoes and then hitting on people. And then, it's just so there's a big thing.
But he's talking about I just seen you with my friends video. I never put a bitch before my friends. So here we go.
I mean, I can't, I don't know if I can relate to that. I mean, I hate to say it, I guess it depends on the bitch. I mean,
if Drake used bitch more in his music, I'd love to hear your reviews of it. Because the only thing separating
I would
Pac
too,
and
because
Drake,
I think it would change my view of it.
I think Pac and Drake talk about women in a lot of similar ways, honestly. And Drake just refrains from using the word bitch a lot.
Right. Well, we know about Drake. His whole persona is the hashtag nice guy sometimes, but also he's the F boy. Pac just owns what he is, and that's fine. I prefer him to okay. Let me just get to the big thing. Okay, because I think I got a doozy for this one.
I can't wait for Woke Mel on the Wonder Why They Call You Bitch. This is going to be a great episode. I'm very excited. The justifications, the prognostications, if you will. We're gonna get some real classic audio. I hope you all are prepared.
I'll say this. This happens again in one of my favorite tracks later on, but he likes to do this. He ends one of these verses with follow the leader and peep the drama that I'm going through. It's all about you. Yeah, nigga, it's all about you. And I said, okay, man, one, this is a bad habit that he has, mixing the masculine pronoun nigga in the context of speaking to a woman. Okay. And two, like I was saying, the guy is all over the place, like, you know, and that just kind of like disorients me a bit. Now, you talked about the weed carriers were snapping. I don't know, man. Okay.
No, you know what? Your main event Mel, we know if it were your bootlicker Mel, main event Mel, you don't have any respect.
No, it's not that. It's that Hussein Fatal was even more misogynistic than Tupac. Okay, he was talking about, you know, explain to a nigga why I see the same shitty hoe. Why she gotta be a shitty hoe? Ain't a hoe enough? You know? And then the Yaki
he has an inspired performance, I would say.
I mean, he sounds awake. That's a good thing, but he's so mean. So
if it said featuring AZ and AZ spit this exact same verse, people would be creaming themselves and calling me a genius for giving the song a 10.
All right. Well, I'll say this though. Yaki Gaddafi is just like speaking in riddles, like complete ill nothings. Also off topic to me.
Yeah, so, but Yaki Gaddafi is a money name.
It is the money,
which adds to the 10, honestly.
I think he Pac said it, running up in you just like Bruce Jenner when I been you, and I said, little did he know. So this is where I will end. Okay, of course we got the funny speech from Snoop Dogg at the end, referenced by Jesse last week on the mail segment, the hotline segment.
Didn't we just hear about Bruce Jenner on the MOP album?
We did. Apparently more of a topic in hip hop than I ever knew. But Snoop's here, and listen, yeah, he's misogynistic, but it's funny to me. It's the delivery, the exasperation in his voice is very funny. But this is my final.
He's in Kevin Nash mode. 1,000%.
Yeah, he's snapping. He's
the same old shit. I mean, goddamn.
You
know what I'm saying? I'm sitting back watching Montel Jordan video. I see the same bitch that was in my homeboy Nate Dogg video. Then I flipped the channel. I was checking out my homeboy Tupac video. I see the same bitch that was in my video.
This is my final statement. As much as I enjoyed this speech, it ties into the concept explicitly. And here's my question. I'm not sure what the problem is with seeing the same hoe. Just seeing her. Is she ugly? Is she pretty? What's the problem? And if you know she's a hoe, especially, what's the problem? It's not like you have to date her.
Like, I think they just want to change the scenery at this point.
I mean, I guess, but like, I don't think it's a problem to see the same. It's not her fault. Like, I guess they're trying to say, yeah, she gets around, she's with everybody. But it's like, I don't know. That's on you. Change your scene.
Here we go. Mel fighting for the
I don't see the problem. Listen, it's very catchy. I love singing it, but I don't see the problem.
Not only does Mel prefer the cuck version of this song to the real Chad version of it, but he's out here being a pick-me on the review.
I'm not trying to be a pick-me. I honestly don't see the problem with seeing the same hoe. Maybe it's just that paranoia of Pac. Like, you know, he feels like people were plotting on him. So seeing the same person in multiple places.
She's a spy.
She could be a spy, right? She could be a spy. You know, I don't know.
You keep seeing her. What's her deal? She's a femme fatale. You know?
All right. Well, listen, folks. It's a flat 7 beat and hook. The verses are 6 pluses. The Snoop
flat
speech is
7 hook?
Minus. Oh, sorry. No. Flat 7 beat. It's a 9 hook. Sorry, I
So
Sorry,
how
I
is the
didn't
song
copy
a 7- with a 9 hook?
Because the verses are a 6+, and that occupies most of the space of the song. And the beat's only a 7 because I have a preferred cameo flip. And the Snoop speech is 7-. It ends up at a 7- because I don't need this. I don't feel
You're not
the
player.
sentiment
You're
of
not,
the song.
You're not player. Okay.
Whatever, I guess I'm not a player.
Okay,
I guess
Mr.
I'm not
7
a player.
pounds. Okay, you're not player.
We just don't do that to me, because I said to you, I'll reference that as one of the Will Smith films that I don't particularly care for all that much. No, I prefer. What did I rank it? I said the best Will Smith is. I don't want to do this right now. Okay, I got you, Will. I got you. Don't worry. You got anything else left to say?
Yeah, I'm going on Red Table Talk to discuss this rating.
All right. Okay. Well, we can move it along.
Welcome back. Our first guest tonight is a writer for outlets such as GQ, Billboard, NPR, Passion of the Weiss, Nobels, and his own Substack, Middle of Nowhere. He also recently interviewed Sleepy Brown back in May for Passion of the Weiss. Please give a warm Rap Rankings welcome to Caleb Catlin.
Yo, the soundboard really is tight. That's a great ad. I appreciate y'all having me on. I appreciate the Substack poll too, because I'm really trying to, create a quote unquote brand or whatever.
Yeah, check it out, guys. Subscribe, and Caleb is, I would say, a very industrious young writer covering hip hop right now and other things, but mostly hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, I'm just a shit shooter. That's all I really am at the end of the day. I don't. I was kind of wincing if you were gonna give me the journalist label, quote unquote, because I just really don't feel like I'm qualified to take that.
Hey, shit shooter, them be the realest ones, So you're in the right place. Let me tell you, you're in the right place.
Yeah, man, I just don't do this shit like every day the way that everybody does. They do like real rap coverage. Me, I just got my little Substack I write every once in a while, and then sometimes, them editors like me enough to give me some money, and that's all. That's all it really is. It ain't nothing like, ain't enough money in this shit for me to do it the way I want to. So.
Hey, listen, look, I'm hitting the drop, all right?
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
All right, we're just here to talk about a song we enjoy or possibly don't enjoy. I don't know. We haven't given ratings.
You don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
No, we're going to dive into the song. I'm going to be a little offended if we sway the other way.
Well, we are here to review, which track is this? This is track 5, The Way You Move, featuring Sleepy Brown, produced by Carl Mo. But before we get into, the depths with that, we're going to go you're new on the show. We're going to hit you with this rating system, So here's how it goes. It's pretty simple. I'm so used to hitting the automated button moves. I got to all right, here we go. Let me not fuck this up. The rating system is simple. Each song is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. These numbers do not reflect the quality of a song, as that is indeterminable. Instead, each number reflects a level of enjoyment. In short, here's what each number means. 10 means, this is a perfect song to me, one of my favorite songs of all time. 9 means, I love it. 8 means, I like it a lot. 7 means, I like it. 6 means, it's alright. I don't dislike it, but I can't say that I like it. 5 means, I feel practically nothing about this. 4 means, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard, but I dislike it. 3 means, I dislike it. 2 means, I hate it. And 1 means, I absolutely can't stand it. One of the worst things I've ever heard. Side note, you can choose to add a plus or a minus to those numbers. They don't have any mathematical or statistical value. They're indicators. It's like saying a strong or light version of that number. So like 6 plus strong 6, like 9 minus light 9. Or, for us on this show, we have this segment called I Was Fucking Tripping, where we can come back and be like, you know what? I was fucking tripping. I'm changing my rating. So a lot of times that 6 plus is almost like that could go up to a 7 one day. You never know. But that's the system. That's pretty much it. I can go through it again if you like. Or, if you're ready.
1 through 10, I already know my answer. I picked the song specifically to drop the number that I'm going to give it. If I'm hearing something too out of what I'm expecting, I'm going to be asking a lot of questions.
All right, that's fair enough. Ominous. I like that. Okay. All right. Well, as is customary with guests, we like to give you the opportunity. If you want to give your rating first, you can do that. If you want us to go first,
this is a 10 out of 10.
All right. Now we're talking. Okay.
This is a 10 out of 10. I'm not going under a 7. If we're going under a 7, I've got some questions.
Look, all right, Mools. If I could, I'd like to go next.
You can do whatever the hell you want to do, man. The individual is key. It's about this ain't a circle jerk. I want to speak my truth. You speak your truth. Caleb is gonna speak his truth
for sure. Well, in that case, nigga, I ain't talking to you right now. I'm talking to Caleb. All right, here we go. Listen, Caleb, let me tell you something.
My nigga, I'm glad you said this.
Because you have the distinction of being the first guest, I believe, to be on a song review where I'm going to be handing out a 10.
You're so fucking real for that. That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
It is a perfect song. It has been that way for me since 03. I'm glad to hear that you feel the same way. It
is maybe like it might be my favorite. Like it's not even really an OutKast song; it's a Big Boy song. But like if we're labeling it under the OutKast, the OutKast umbrella, it's probably the best one.
Wow,
I'm not even mad.
This is high praise.
Top 3 to me. I grew up, obsessed with like harmonies and whatnot, and that's the kind of stuff that really pops me. I mean, it's so. When I think of The Way You Move, I think about being in my granddad's Lincoln Navigator, and I'm thinking about riding through Birmingham, Alabama. It's so distinctly Southern in a way that not a lot of folks get unless you like really. Unless you don't like entrench yourself in it.
Oh, you talking that real shit right now. Listen, Mools, I'm gonna tell you like Big Boy said in the Hey Ya video, don't fuck this up for everybody. Okay? you know what you must do. Okay? Don't
do. Listen to how narratives get built, how the peer pressure has removed the individual from the listening experience.
No, bro.
Shit's crazy, man. And look, I'm going to stand on my number no matter what it is.
Okay. Well, that's I would expect nothing less.
And of course, no matter what my number is, I always have an explanation for it. Mm-hmm. I'm never just going to say no comment. But man, I mean, it's kind of crazy, man, because for me to say Mools and Mel and Caleb connect, I don't know if I've ever said 2 people connect at the same time, and yet on a 10. Yeah, this is a 10, guys.
Yes.
Come on. I got to be honest with you. When I set up the scorecard for this album, I gave the song a 10, and I'm like, let's just make sure that's... But the scorecard was set up, and my 10s on this album, which there are astoundingly more than 1,
wow,
and more than 2, but...
Okay.
I've already given out a 10.
Oh shit! Right. Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta look at this album track list because we only 5 songs in. No way.
I'm gonna tell you, Caleb, we really don't be giving out 10s across 13 seasons. Between the both of us, I think there's a handful of 10. Like, we take that number seriously. Same thing with 1s. We don't just.
I don't know if I've given out the 10 more than 2 dozen times.
That's rare air, man. There's mad 9s. There's mad 9s. There's mad
9s. There's mad 8s. Beyond the 7. I mean, 7 is just the most common. 7s and 6s.
I don't get the albums in my top 10 all time begin 9.5s. They not even 10s. So like you got to be in rare air, and The Way You Move is just that kind of record. But I'm looking at the songs.
The Way You Move.
I'm curious.
What's my other 10 on this album?
Yeah.
Unhappy.
Oh, that's not what I thought. I thought we were rocking bow tie. I thought we were double backing on the sleepy joint. All right, I ain't mad at it.
No, Bowtie, which we just covered, flat 8 for me.
That's not. It's like really country. So like you really gotta understand it on those bases. It's so just overtly twangy and kind of like that's real Black Eyed Peas music. That ain't like for everybody.
Yeah, I might have been a city boy on that one. I mean, it has merit. I mean, but
that's mud on your polo boots music. That's like you got them little what's them joints them people used to wear back when I was in high school, middle school. Them like little Dockers with the Nike Elite socks. The little country camo joints. That's that type of music.
Yeah,
this 10 was so easy for me. I didn't even have to think about it. And then I was able to confirm it on, my subsequent listens of this album. But, this song may be the first song in rap that comes to mind when I think of, like, great, like, American songbook level funk records. Like, this is going on the barbecue playlist. We might be jumping straight from the 70s and the 80s right to Way You Move.
Yeah.
Was they not making no funk in the 90s? I don't remember no funk.
No, I mean, listen,
it was just Feel Me Flow.
We got DJ Quick, Mel, with, Robert Funksta Bacon playing on some of the Rhythmalism. We covered that back in season 1.
Yeah, that's adjacent. You're right.
Like, but no, I'm talking about, like, the songs. It's not what I think is funk or what I think is. This song is an oldie, and it's a song that, I bought this album 4 days after it came out in the store. It can't be an oldie. I'm not that old.
Well, see, that's what we like to think, nigga. It's been 20 years.
No, but this was no, you don't get it. This was or maybe you do. This was a oldie by like 07, 08. Like, this was already in the pantheon. This is getting played amongst the greats in funk and soul and R&B music.
Okay, you mean oldie, like it entered the songbook very early.
It entered the songbook. It
was first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yes, like, and it entered like the cookout playlist in record time.
Facts. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's up there. It's like it stands side by Outstanding and like Yearning for Your Love, September.
Before I Let Go, all of that,
right,
and then they throw this in the mix, and it doesn't sound out of place.
Well, that's just the whole beauty of Sleepy's whole career, really. And I did a lot of studying for that. He is just such a staunch traditionalist that doesn't like detract from regionalism in any way. So many artists, they sway away from their environment, especially in the digital age. There's no distinction or anything. There is no soul, there is no cookout. You've got to kind of approximate it through these digital lenses. Records like this are going to be eternal because we don't get that scratch, that itch fulfilled for those kind of records.
Yeah, I would say, like, reading your interview, that definitely came across because Sleepy Brown, you speak about a lot of artists are influenced by like this sound, and it ends up just being an approximation. I think his upbringing, has a lot to do with the fact that he can not just copy like the canon, but actually contribute to it. I think he adds to the lineage. It's not just like this pastiche sort of thing. Mools and I, we talk about like Bruno Mars a lot. We disagree. I think that boy cold, but Mools is like,
I hate him.
He's a glorified jukebox. He's just like
he's a re-rock pusher, but like
he is.
He's definitely like. Listen, not all re-rock is created equal. He pushed out some pretty good re-rock.
That's true.
It's some mid re-rock, but it's some really good re-rock in there too.
I'll be hitting that pipe when I hear that tonight on that 24K man. That's my boy. But
bro,
yeah,
I tune out the first 2 seconds of Treasure, and then that I'm like, yo, all right, we're back.
But yeah, the difference in Sleepy Brown, I think, ends up being another link in the chain. He has the chops.
You noted his interview, Mel, which, by the way, Caleb, the interview is great. You clearly did a ton of research. You asked the right questions. I was glad to see the Brainchild album and Sleepy's theme talked about. I feel like that's so often overlooked in conversations with him. And what you get out of that is him talking about working under the learning tree of Curtis Mayfield, on the New World Order album, and what he was able to get, lessons he was able to pick up from him. There's a lot that goes into a record like this, years and years and years of sitting under those learning trees and, being a second generation musician as well. But I thought it was interesting in that interview you did, he noted, he said, my coolest memory actually was the Grammys in 2004. I didn't know we were going to be performing with Funkadelic and Earth, Wind and Fire. So I go to rehearsal and I walk in, I see George Clinton, I see Bootsy, then I look over to the left and I see Verdine, and I said, wait a minute. I see the whole original Earth, Wind and Fire, even Maurice, right there, bro. I was like a kid. It took me back. So I actually have that audio here. Or no, this is actually audio from the 04 NBA All-Star game. But we do have some Earth, Wind, and Fire that's going to come up in the archival here.
It's really good.
Nice. Yeah, I hate that you remind me of the 04. That whole season's a wash. I don't acknowledge it. The Lakers lost. It was fake. Okay, it didn't happen. Where's the?
Are you being a homer right now? Oh no.
Kinda. I mean, I rock with the Warriors these days. That's another story. I'm kind of a turncoat.
He's a fucking turncoat, Caleb. You don't know what. First of all, this man lives in Peoria, Illinois. Okay,
we don't need to go through the history of my sports fandoms, but listen, like my main man, now boy, I kind of hop from team to team, but it's not really truly a turncoat thing. It's just like, I rock with winners.
That's an absurd impersonation. That's insane, yo. He said, like it's really like that, guys. Like he be hitting that guys. It's a real big Toronto thing. You understand? Like it's real nasty.
It's a Warriors thing still. Wallahi, are you stupid? Are you dumb? But like, I just want to say, 04 NBA season.
It never happened.
But we got this audio
season,
right? Man, no, we're gonna talk about them.
Yeah, so this is from the 04 NBA All-Star game. This is The Way You Move with Sleepy Brown.
All right, let's check it out.
And the beat goes, boom, get it. Ready for action, living in the bud, we never relaxing. OutKast is everlasting, not clashing, not at all. But see, my boy wants to do a little acting. Now that's for anyone asking. Give me one to pass them. Drip, drip, drop, there goes a near gasm. Now you coming out the side of your face, be tapping right into your memory banks. Thanks. So click it and take it, let's see your seatbelt fasten. Trump rattling like 2 minutes in the backseat, wrestlers. Bigger boss, make it sound like aluminum cans in a bag. But I know y'all wanted that 808. Can you feel that B8? What? But I know y'all wanted that 808. Can you feel that B8? Yeah, let's go. Oh. Come on. Yeah, one time for your mind, say I love the rain. She move, go. I love the way she move. OutKast said they hit the crew, go. What's up, Sleepy?
Hold on.
Cause it feels so fly. It's so fly. Driving me out of my mind. What? Yeah, say could. That's if I could.
The ad-libbing is hilarious.
He's incredible, yo. Oh my god. It's even better than I remember it because I ran that like 3 months ago. Because the one thing I do on YouTube is I pull up like old NBA All-Star games and I just fall asleep. There's one of them that's got like all the commercials and I just remember hearing that all throughout it. I'm like, gosh, it's beautiful, man. It can be understated. Just like it really makes you want to go back to that time because like it's just so rich, man.
Yeah, I mean, 04 was a decent. I mean, I was 10 when this album came out. I turned 11 in 04. And yeah, this is one of those defining songs for me. And I got to say, just on the topic of Sleepy Brown, it was first, I believe it was I Can't Wait, was where I first heard him. And I remember
Barbershop 2 soundtrack.
Yeah, bro, I remember the street I was on Like we were crossing a bridge and it came on in the radio. And I remember having a genuine fear, like, this is before Shazam, you know, like before, you know, you can easily
you
Google.
may never hear this record again.
Yes. And I just remember that song, I can't wait, and that bass line. And I'm like, is this one of the greatest songs ever? Like, I was like 9 years old.
Honestly, like, under discussed to this day.
Yes.
With the amount of, like, you know, obviously, International Players Anthem, like, there's a little more cachet there for people, I think, to latch onto. But, like, the amount of burn that one record gets, it's like, guys, Down the Hall is I Can't Wait, you know, Leather in the Summer, Silk in the Winter.
Yeah, you know. And I was scared. I'm like, I think I was in the car with my grandpa, and I'm like, what is this? You know, I assume it's I Can't Wait, but, like, I was scared I'd never hear it again. And then, you know, he pops up on this The Way You Move, and I'm like, yo, this Sleepy Brown dude, where's the drop? Hold on. We got this drop on the show.
Little did you know, though, Mel, you know, as a member of Organized Noise, he'd been down, you know, with OutKast from the beginning. And he's on, you know, Southern Playlist Day, that Crumbling Herb, you know.
Right.
Funky
Album
Ride,
I wouldn't hear
that.
until
like,
much later in my life. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he'd been around. But, like, to me at 9-10 years old, I'm hearing this guy sing and I'm like,
you my favorite new dude.
Okay, like this dude is like, I'm loving his voice, I'm loving his tone. And Caleb, you talk about like growing up and being a big fan of harmonies and everything. I mean, same. I mean, I have like, it's kind of a running persona on the show. It's like, you know, people tease me. It's like, do you even like rap as much as you like R&B, like R&B Mel? But like, that was the stuff I really grew up with. And
I'm the same way. I've never been like, there's a lot of my friends are drums guys, but I've always like, I've been trying to nitpick that feeling of what I get when I listen to like Lloyd Banks Karma or like Wanna Get to Know You G Unit or like all those.
Now you're talking my language. The Final Lap Tour coming to a city near you. And Mel, why is it the Final Lap Tour?
We not hitting. You embarrassing me in front of company. Okay, look. All right, listen, sorry, Caleb, but this man has been pushing his Final Lap agenda to the point where I just had to pre-record the message. Here. The Final Lap Tour is called the Final Lap Tour because 50 Cent is looking to revolutionize TV and film, and he won't have time to do a tour of this scale again. There, Facts. You propagandist. Okay.
That's true. He's still not going to do any. He's still not going to do any of the mixtape cuts I want to hear too. Like I want to hear the I'm after my cheddar. I'm trying to hear that.
Oh,
and he's not going to do
classic.
it. He don't want to perform them B-sides for me, the nerd who is really locked in like that. My dad having all the fucking downloads on the Zune or whatever that he gave me.
Oh, are you a Zune? Oh, I was a Zune man, brother. I'm a ride for.
The iPods were too rich for me as a kid.
You guys have a lot more in common than I think you realize.
You know, it's kind of crazy. Listen, I get ridiculed on this show nonstop for having that Zune. I love that Zune.
Zune was low key, but I think I didn't like how big the fucking Nano was. The Zune really fit in your hand real good, and I think like again, I wasn't introduced to like iTunes like that. My dad, he gave me the Zune, and he gave me like these unreleased Wayne mixtape records. The first time I remember hearing Lil Wayne and Joel Santana Bad Side. We definitely marked out over that song back in, what was it, Dedication 2 review? We just like played the whole thing and rapped along.
Of, like,
I can
all
still
the Wayne
name
and Joel's leaks.
I can still name off a bunch of fucking
Norfolk. I'm cold like the wind. Like, don't get me started. But yeah,
not even the way. It's the Joel's verse that really gets me. He said, "I leave him with no neck like fat guys. Don't be playing with me. I advise another Chinese food, another cat fried." That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yes, I told you in the right place, brother. Okay, I'm loving. Yeah, listen, absolutely. So. Listen, we both love melody. We both love mixtape tracks, and like this Sleepy Brown. I mean,
he makes the record for me. This would not be a 10 if he wasn't on the record,
for sure. And that's no disrespect to Big Boy, but
it doesn't work without him. Otherwise, it's just it's like a funny Big Boy record with like somebody who doesn't really get the keys like that. Sleepy just understands it innately, which is something that it blew me away the first time I heard it. I was like, how did he navigate those horns that way? It sounds like what people try and peddle heaven to be in all those literature books. Like they always make Heaven sound mad boring. I just wanted to feel like The Way You Move and like Mad Hose.
Wow. Listen, Mel and Caleb connect. This is heaven music. I mean, this is peak for me. That's why I give out the 10. I don't give it out lightly, but like, this is one of the greatest choruses to me in music history, not just hip hop. Like, I think it was some years back where I noticed underneath, because I always, of course, hear the top line, I like the way you move, woo, all that. But like, I didn't notice underneath until recently. It's like, going on underneath. And I was like, yo, how is this song getting better? Like all these years later, the bridge is almost as money as the hook. Hey,
and Sleepy's doing his own background vocals on there as well. He's so sexy. You know,
he's hitting like 4 or 5 different, because he hits the low tone. He was like, all of the way, ooh, all of the way. I'm like, yo, that's what people don't layer this shit, bro. That's the whole key. People be like, oh my gosh, I missed the 90s rap. You just missed people putting the effort in to layer their voices.
Right. These are the phrase, we losing recipes. These are the recipes we're losing. The real songcraft.
Right. Where's the sturdy ass rap records like this that can run the radio for weeks on end?
Nobody wants to go. I'll be quoting 21/7. Niggas don't want to lay harmonies no more. Okay.
Well, it's all that quote unquote bedroom R&B shit where it's like, all right, let me get this done in like 2 takes and keep it moving. Run that again. Run that take again.
Let's give it some heft.
The reason The Weeknd was good because he was like, all right, well, I hear my kind of wimpy voice. Let me put some reverb on that. Let me record it 3 times.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it doesn't work. Yeah. It doesn't work if you're hitting them. The reason why Drake is so good is because he puts the auto tune, he layers it a couple times, and he puts the reverb on it. He's only good tonally. So if you're not a dynamic singer like Sleepy Brown, you've got to make up for it and just stacking.
In other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy, him and 40 together have that ear and appreciation for R&B. So, like, that's how they're able to tap into that, and it comes across so well. Because, Drake doesn't have the strongest voice, but he has a great tone. I've said on this show before, we'll see, you laughed at me when I said Drake voice make me wet. Now you hear Caleb, you can't laugh at him too.
That's crazy. What is crazy?
But listen,
the Toronto Moist Maker is crazy. That's crazy, yo. Oh my god.
This is what I have to deal with, Caleb, on a weekly basis for hours on end. You see how long our show is.
That man said views got him moist. That's crazy.
I mean, here's the thing, bro. Like, it ties into this song too, though, because this album came out September 2003, and then it just ran the airwaves for like a whole year. And this is a song that distinctly reminds me of, like, listen, I'm bringing in a drop.
I've always loved Christmas as a holiday.
Okay, like this reminds me of that Christmas in 2003. Just not only like being a kid, but being excited for Christmas. But there's something very festive and joyous about this music. You talk about like heaven. It's like, it is just,
those horns too. That, I get a little Cheryl Lynn,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that little, you heard it in the All-Star Game audio, but I love how they lead back into the chorus with that. That is such a great, you got,
that's funk music, Yes, and it's just that attention to detail that separates the pros from the amateurs, I'm afraid,
For sure. And
this is pro level music. Yeah. And I don't mean to down Big Boy's contributions to the song at all, because it also wouldn't be a 10 if the record was just the music and just Sleepy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
He was the afterthought. Like, he provides great contrast to the explosion of the chorus with a more low-key tone of voice that he's using. But he's flowing his fucking ass off on here. He's very fun. That's important too. Is that, I'm listening to this song. This is a feel-good record. I don't want to have to think about the kind of things we're going to have to think about on War. I don't want to have to think about what we were just thinking about on Unhappy. You got to match the tone of the record in your writing, in everything. And Big Boy... I wouldn't give this shit a 10 if I had any reservations about him on here either.
Yeah, it doesn't work if you don't have. It ends up being probably a little too rich if it's just Sleepy. You need something a little, off kilter. And I think the reason it works so much is because he's so fucking funny on that shit. It's so many. It's like little lines here and there where you're like, yo, did he just fucking say that? He trunk rattling like two midgets in the backseat wrestling. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or the second verse where he's talking about how he doesn't discriminate against fat women. I'm like, I feel you, bro. You know?
And like that's a moment. You nailed my first moment of the song. Like, the truck rattling line. He has certain like the humor. I love the way the beat drops as he hits that so keep your hands off my cheeks and let me study how you ride the beat, you big freak.
Freak.
Like that's a moment. That's a moment in the song that contributes to why it's so great.
Hell, even right after he had skinny slim women got the camel toe with them, it's so funny.
It hits that flow moment there. He sounds like bop it, pull it, twist it. Like he's all the, flip him, spin him, whatever he said. Like it's stuff like that. He's working in tandem with Sleepy Brown. So the energy never falls, I mean, it's just even leading back, but I know y'all wanted that 808. Can you feel that BASS? That leads back into the chorus.
How he comes in after the chorus, which I describe as an explosion of sound, of joy. The whole room fell silent. Like when he comes back in, how he's using that tone of voice with that line, to set the whole verse off. That's that tension and release again.
Yes.
OutKast is very good at this, in part because Sleepy Brown's one of the engineers behind their music,
Perhaps this is a hot take, but like I'm looking over the OutKast records that I got in my library, and I think Big Boy and Sleepy occupy together two of the top 3 records in the OutKast catalog. Just him, just Big and Sleepy. I think Andre gets a little left out for my 2 favorite records there. And it's this one and it's West Savannah off Aquemini.
Oh, classic. Nice.
And I don't think that it'll be good with Andre, but like I think Andre he likes to zoom out and kind of view these things on like a larger philosophical and worldwide sort of view where
through this like abstract lens, right? So
and Big Boy he's like nah, this is what I know, I'm from Atlanta, these are the experiences that paint it. And I mean, that's where you kind of have those differences in Speaker Box versus The Love Below. You've got, it's still weird, Big Boy is, I think people kind of, they don't acknowledge that enough. They're like, oh, The Love Below is like the artsy record or whatever. But like the Speaker Box record is got some very weird textural moments on there that I don't think people give acknowledgement for.
I think about Church to that.
I was just about to say that. Yeah,
it's something that like this stands out to me as like a piece of music that like is not just on your run of the mill Southern rap album from 2003. I'm sorry, it's just not. Like, there's something elevated happening on here too that I think people are missing out on.
Well, in a lot of ways, it's as moments that are as musically adventurous as The Love Below. Church, I think about Rooster, it's like it's a lot of different moments on there for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like, when you think of those 03 Southern rap records, folks always think about Lil Jon or even T.I., but, like, that, the way he utilizes Lil Jon and the East Side Boys on Last Call, it's similarly weird. You're expecting something, generally speaking, crunk or whatever, in quotes, but you're getting some, like, weird alien textures. That's the cool thing about... Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andre tends to think on like the grand scheme, but like Big Boy really tends to understand how alien even Atlanta could be, rather than just looking at the world as a whole. He's like, no, like it's the same thing, either regionally or when he travels elsewhere.
You know what that brings to mind? A good comparison, because like I would say in a lot of ways, like Big Boy is like Atlanta, the TV show, and Andre might be Twin Peaks. It's like they're both dabbling. They acknowledge like the surrealness of the things around them, but like one is more, I guess, straightforward and like down to earth, and the other one's dealing out in the like gray area with the abstracts. But that's what makes them such a great duo. Like I need them both.
That's a great comp, and I think similarly, Big Boy, he's very cool in a way that Atlanta is. Where with Andre, he's very I think about that jazz record he dropped in 2018 on SoundCloud, Me and My, and then he dropped a 17-minute James Blake collab record where it's just him on the piano. It's way more tender and emotive in a very personal scale, where Big Boy, he's nah, this is outside for me.
Yeah. I mean, I just, at the end of the day, as they say, I hate to see them get pitted against each other, because it's why? Well, what's the picture of the little girl? Why not both? I'm
a why not both guy when it comes to these albums, because what I get from both of them is something totally different. Speaker Box is, I feel like, in the spirit of Stankonia, the same kind of kaleidoscope of sounds that you get on here. And then Love Below, I look at as, it's kind of more, I would say, streamlined in terms of the vision of the sound of the record. By the time you're about a third of the way through the album, I think you've heard most of the kind of movements we're going to be getting throughout the rest of it. But, this is an album that, Speaker Box that is, that's filled to the brim with very unique choices across, especially, the production. I think it's just as adventurous as the previous OutKast album.
Yeah. I think Stankonia is probably the meeting of the minds where both of them, I think Speaker Box and the Love Below is where they both literally and just vision wise they both split off, where Andre wants to scope out and Big Boy wants to move inward. Stankonia is the perfect blend of the two, where you can't really remove Atlanta from Stankonia, but you can't not think about Atlanta in the larger scheme of things. Like Stankonia, the Stank Love record, shout out to that record. Sleepy Brown is amazing on that. That's probably in the top 5. The third one, by the way, was a Gasoline Dreams off Stankonia. That's the perfect meeting of the minds. It's just so texturally just off kilter and interesting in ways that not a lot of Southern records get without that sort of OutKast branding behind it, I think.
Word. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely thinking big brain now, that what you just said, just I get a visual of an uppercase Y, and it's their career up to a certain point was the bottom part, and then Stankonia is that middle section, and then they split. So it's we're at the point now on this album where they're not completely on different ends of the spectrum, but it's clear one guy wants to do this, one guy wants to do that, which reminds me of the line. This has always been one of the standout lines on here, and I think it's a testament to the fact that Big Boy, whether due to being professional or just being a friend, not wanting to make it seem like there's a riff, it's not clashing, not at all, but see, my nigga went to do a little acting, OutKast is everlasting. Obviously we know now it was a little deeper than that, but I think Big Boy was always the guy who just, let's keep this going as long as we can. And, we had discussed already on the album, they were working together, bouncing ideas off of each other, throughout the process of this album.
They're on each other's songs on this album.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So
just as an aside, by the way, Andre's not a very good actor.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think of what I've seen him in. I saw him in Be Cool, but that was early Andre, and he was in a comic relief role. Wasn't great.
So
I'm a Four Brothers apologist.
Well, I'm a Singleton guy, full on. So I hear you there, but he's not
he's not great in it.
The best part of it is my guy Tyrese. Shout out, baby boy. No, so there's Four Brothers. He does the Cartoon Network deal, that Class of 3000.
Class of 3000, yeah.
He does this he does this movie with Robert Pattinson in it, where he's a supporting role, and then he does the Jimi Hendrix biopic, which is also not very good.
I never saw that. I didn't even know that actually came out.
It is very tedious.
Oh.
It's very tedious, and you can tell that, like...
Oh, you know what? I do remember this, because they couldn't use any music from Jimi Hendrix. Was that the deal?
Yeah, he's got, like, I think he just got casted because he's got the quote-unquote vibes or whatever. You know, put vibes in italics or whatever. He's got the sort of deal that, you know, Jimmy gets when you look at a picture from, like, 5 minutes. And they're like, oh, yeah, you know, that works. But, you know, he's not a good actor. I think, I appreciate that he mostly stopped and that he just kind of chills around playing his flute in coffee shops and whatnot.
I want to say you mentioned Tyrese. I should have you know, there's over 1,000 drops in the soundboard. It's ridiculous. But like, just replace the word album with roll, describing him in the Jimi Hendrix movie.
This is an album that I wish belonged to somebody else.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, you know, shout out to Andre. Shout out to Big Boy. And it's like, I mean, here's the thing. You know, yeah, he went to do a little acting and it isn't great. But, you know, he made it up to him or tried to later when they went on the tour and, you know, did all that. And I'm sure they're fine, you know, but, hey, I mean, it's interesting how this moment where there's kind of this schism, you know, ends up winning album of the year. I mean, it just goes to show you, it's like, hey, it was the right decision at the time, you know, I guess, you know, you could say. And
I think this is just like, I think big award situations do this a lot where like they miss on something, so then they just double back later. You know, they did it with
this
Denzel.
Is The Departed being the first Scorsese film, or the first film that Scorsese won Best Director for.
This is what I think is this is the most apt comparison. I think it's Denzel Washington winning for Training Day over Malcolm X. Where it's like they're both great, but obviously like Malcolm X is like the one and Training Day kind of looks like the one. You know, just comparatively in those two performances, like, don't get me wrong, I love Training Day and I love Denzel in it, but it's very clearly just a lot of Denzel-isms. There's more complexity.
Yeah, there's more scenery chewing there, and technically it's, you know, easier to pull something like that off.
Yeah, and I mean, you could also do this comp with like Leo DiCaprio, where they're like, all right, we missed on Wolf of Wall Street. Here's an Oscar for a movie that nobody cares about, or like Al Pacino. They missed him in like The Godfather and a couple other movies, so they got him for this '90s movie that nobody cares about. I forget the name of it.
The Scent of a Woman, probably.
Yeah, The Scent of a Woman, and you know, they did it with Will Smith was the most recent one where they missed on Ali because they missed on Denzel. Will Smith should have won that.
Right, they're
Will
playing
Smith
catch up for years now. Yeah,
exactly. So it's just
what did Will
big
Smith
catch-up
win,
deal.
King Richard?
Yeah, he won King Richard like 20 years later when Ali was. I think his performance in Ali was better than Denzel in Training Day. That's maybe a hot take. I don't know what the consensus on that looks like, but
I need an Ali rewatch to determine how I feel about that statement.
It's not my favorite man flick because it's very hard to top stuff like Heat and Miami Vice and stuff like that. But you know, I think it's really good in its own right. And I think Will Smith, I think him not winning that drastically changes the trajectory of his career in kind of negative ways.
In terms of like the kind of roles that he picks and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you don't get like he takes on Hancock because he feels like he's not getting the respect, and then he'll take on like 7 Pounds because he feels like he's not getting the respect. You know, I feel like he probably takes more interesting roles from interesting directors if he just gets some validation from that Ali role. But after that, he's like, nah, it's pretty easy being a movie star. Let me go do Shark Tale right quick.
I think I got a hotter take than you. I think Denzel in The Hurricane is better than Denzel in Training Day.
I'm not mad at that. Denzel's got a lot of great performances. Like
he really does. I think he's one of our top 3 best living actors.
You can probably name off at least 4 or 5 Denzel roles before you get to Training Day, just because of how rich his catalog looks. I mean, I loved him in the Tragedy of Macbeth, Devil in a Blue Dress.
Devil in a Blue Dress is all time. for me.
You know, it's stuff like that. But obviously, I'm getting off track. Glad Andre stopped. I'm glad Andre stopped acting. And shout out Tyrese.
Yeah, shout out Tyrese, and I'll say this: we know the real truth about why Malcolm X didn't win, because the people on that damn Oscar committee,
And you ain't black.
Okay, so you don't understand. You ain't want to give it to the.
But you know what happened? They seen that Malcolm X and fucking Hollywood, white Hollywood. They seen it, and we got a clip now from Moles on the Trespass soundtrack. This is what Hollywood said when they saw what was going on. They saw, everyone was wearing them X hats at the time. There was some real black liberation talk going on, and Hollywood stepped in and they weren't going to allow this, beyond what had already been seen.
My God.
Big Soldier Boy voiced them crackers.
Yeah, Moles, yeah.
About to feel the wrath of a greedy ass cracker.
Came into a line from was that Ice-T that said it? Or no, Ice Cube.
It's Ice Cube, right? From his song with Ice-T on the Trespass soundtrack.
Yeah. Ice-T saying that would be real funny because you hear his lisp a little bit, and then you think about Law and Order, SVU, Ice-T, and you talk about it's mad funny with Ice-T. I haven't really. I want to dive into his old stuff just so that I can see how ironic it all plays out.
Hey, well, I'm telling you, Caleb, it gets insane on the show. Moles, you already know what Ice-T said when he starred in a horror movie and then the critics didn't like it because they ain't like the ending. You know what he said?
It's a horror movie. It's goes to end horrible.
We got too many specifics. It's crazy. It gets crazy here. But yeah, I just made up a scenario to have an excuse to play that drop.
Well,
but
we got more archival audio if you want to dig into it a little bit. So
sweet.
To touch on Earth, Wind, and Fire again, Sleepy was saying that was the highlight of his career. Kenny G and Earth, Wind, and Fire did The Way You Move cover a year later, in 2004. And, we're just going to speak to the enduring influence of this album as something that's become more sampled than it actually even has samples on it. More interpolations and covers than it has interpolations on the freaking album. So, this is an album that owes some debt of gratitude to, certain sample sources, but mainly has been sampled. And we have a sample as well from, I believe, the following year. But let's start off with this Kenny G and Earth, Wind, and Fire, The Way You Move.
Kenny G, say it like this.
Sorry, Jack Harlow, if you listen, I'm going to have to take this off you real quick. Hey, Kenny G.
You know you're my favorite white boy, right?
Okay. That's some good stuff right there. I'm always the fan, Kenny.
How did Jack Harlow end up with that title in the fucking first place, bro?
It's a long story.
After thousands of hours of doing a show with this guy, you'd think it'd be me.
Wow. Damn. You got to apologize, bro. You didn't really cook my dog, bro. You gave it to Jack Harlow over my dog, bro.
Moores, you flavored white. I gotta hit your drop.
By the way, I'm Jewish.
You know, so like it's a difference.
Okay, variant style, chase variant. That's true.
There you go. You know, but
that's crazy.
He ain't killed jazz.
You said you French vanilla and not regular vanilla. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I'm actually.
No, that's real shit. That's real shit. Because like my friends called me. When they found out that I was like technically mixed, they was like, "Oh, you like they didn't know like Neapolitan as a word, but they was like, yo, you like the chocolate vanilla strawberry ice cream." I was like, I feel you. I'm willing to rock out on that.
I'll say this. You know, Kenny G. You know, I know they tried to say you killed Jazz. Hit him with that Jeezy.
What are you doing? I ain't killing hip hop, nigga. Bro, the critics are against you.
Okay, you ain't tell me. You ain't kill Jazz, nigga.
This soundboard's great. This is the best experience that I've had.
No, we got some Sami Zayn drops in there.
Oh yeah, we got some Sami Zayn. What, you want me to pull up that video again?
Oh no, please don't pull up that video again.
Okay.
I've had enough of that one.
All right, okay.
I just saw Sammy's promo where he's using some heavy AAVE.
Oh yeah, he outside with the shirt off, and he was just in Florida for a little bit. Florida do that to folks. It happens, bro. If you're down south for like a year, you're bound to like co-opt that a little bit.
Yeah, look,
my dog.
No, my dog.
Real shit. Like that's what I'm saying. He went back to Canada and he was like, golly, I'm glad I got that phase out of the way. You know?
Yeah.
It happens, bro. Like if you stay, especially in Florida, bro, like I'm really surprised he didn't put the re-rock back on that in the performance center. I mean, he had the common hat on for his he had the common hat in his entrance, so
the newsboy joint, yeah.
Exactly. He got the fucking doom doom doo 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 doom. He got that hat on. He said da 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 da. He had that move.
For sure.
He said he hit him with the "they say what's happening, they
we say facts and then they
like."
Yeah.
He had that move, bro. He said, "I used to love her," and it's about PWG.
Hey, Caleb fits in on this show like a glove. Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to do this like as much as y'all want. I got mad
for sure, man.
I got mad shit. I got mad shit.
You understand us? Okay, it's clear. You get it.
He hit the I'm trying to see like what Sami Zayn looks like if you put him on the Finding Forever album cover. I gotta
with
see
that
what it
expression.
looks like.
With the crazy graphic design, yeah.
Look, you might fuck around and find out. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay.
If you edit that, that low key might be my new that might be my new profile pic.
That might pop up in a YouTube short very soon. Okay.
Hey, for sure. Let me make the note.
It's about to be hashtag them people online and the wrestling side co-opting that shit. Be like, Sami Zayn was for the brothers. Come on, man. Like,
for sure. It's just a matter of time before Sami Zayn hops on IG Live and he's in his house talking about,
nigga, I got black marble in my house, nigga, for black.
It's just a matter of time, all right?
Y'all, I was just talking, y'all got me on a totally different tangent. I was talking about Common with a friend of mine earlier. Shout out Zay All Caps. But we were talking about Common, and I was listening to the song Invocation, and Common was like deceptively really funny and fucked up in the way that only 2000s rappers could be. Because he sent me Retrospect for Life, which was like an abortion, pro-abortion song.
Lauryn Hill, right?
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I hear you, but then I send Invocation where he says hip hop. He was like, I feel Mexican. Hip hop is my garden. I'm like, come on, yo.
All right, hold on, Moles. Now I gotta hit this one for Common. Common, if you're listening,
are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
I don't know, Mel. How does he feel about Asian people? Do we have a drop for that?
Oh, there's a line, dog. Hold on, bro. There's a line. God, I wish I'd saved this, but he's got a wild Chinese line. And rappers love a wild Chinese line.
Oh, we do. Where's it? I think Jesse actually brought in that drop. I think Moles. Are you talking about what he said on
Resurrection?
Resurrection?
Yeah.
Hold on. I think I have it somewhere in here.
I think it's on some shit I wrote, that record.
Yeah, there is so much stuff in here. I mean, yeah, I know I can't even repeat it because it's racist, but like, it's the noise.
You can't talk about rap historically without diving into just a wee bit of racism. You
sure.
Like,
we got a drop for hip hop homophobia.
We do. Let me hit it. Okay, hold on. Let me. Every time it shows up, which is unfortunately pretty often, we got to hit our Triple H hip hop homophobia drop. All right.
Time to play the game.
The rap game, that is. All right. But yeah.
When they talk about the essence, this is what they mean.
Hey, you know.
That is the the hashtag the essence.
Oh, brother. Yeah.
I had to
take off my glasses because the back of my head was hurting me too much from thinking about
when you start feeling that pressure.
Finding forever
in your head. You're officially on rap right now when you feel that pressure. Yeah.
Yo, somebody need to put universal mind control over a Sami Zayn entrance. That would be so funny to me. This is that universal mind control. None gets your that shit's ass.
That was definitely a song I remember wanting to like, coming off of being Finding Forever. I'm like, oh, my main man Common's back. And then being in the car with my dad, I'm like, I don't know, something might be missing here. I don't know,
They do this all the time where they were like, they set Drake up. They talk about the Find Your Love beat. They were like, Kanye was giving Drake a lot of boof. He was trying to sabotage his career. No, Pharrell was trying to sabotage Common with them universal mind control beats.
Pharrell definitely had some, animosity towards Common for some reason. Maybe it was for that what was it, Mel? I got a right to be high.
I'm smoking my shit. Electric Circuits, right?
Yeah.
Pharrell
he did Come Close, but he did I Got a Right to Feel High or whatever, and that was a horrible song on there.
That was some bullshit for sure.
He was just workshopping that Minions music.
yeah, for sure.
I'm a soundtrack a Steve Carell movie, and then he cooked that one in the stew.
Pharrell, you know I love you, but yeah, you've been on nut time for a while, But.
Well, look, would you say that Pharrell was trying to sabotage Nelly when they made Drop Down, Get Your Eagle On?
That song's fire. That song's crazy.
Okay, because we're going to talk about Nelly for a second. Your cousin, Mel. Your cousin Nelly.
Oh, yeah, my cousin. Yeah. I forgot how we're related, but somebody in my family said, I pray that they weren't just being like, black people like, oh, that's your cousin because, But
that's
I was told he was my cousin. All right, I don't know. I'll tell you this actually before we talk about Nelly. In the Way You Move video, this is confirmed. I'm related to Ketoy Johnson, who was a model in the thing. All right, we're Facebook friends. Actually, we're actually family. Okay, my dad and I are both Facebook friends with Ketoy Johnson, and don't be lusting after her neither, because it's my family and I'll protect her. Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do it. All right. Anyway, yeah, my cousin Nelly. What's going on with him?
Well, a year later on, the Sweatsuit, the double album that he put out.
Oh, yeah.
We get...
It's all in my head.
I think about it over and over again. That shit's crazy.
I love that record. Yeah.
There's some records on there. Drop Down, Get Your Eagle On is a hit, dog.
That's a classic.
He said, hell no, you leaving me alone, girl. I'm like, okay. That's aggressive as shit. This song is wild aggressive. He said, hell no, you ain't leaving me alone, girl. I'm like, all right, he in his unk phase. Nelly went crazy in his unk phase. He busts out the Tim McGraw and the hell no. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
So they sampled The Way You Move on one of those two albums. I think it's Suit.
Let me see. Let me check the metadata here. Let me see. This is Suit. Yeah, it's not Sweat.
Okay.
It's Soup.
This is She Don't Know My Name featuring Snoop Dogg and Ron Isley, and you'll hear it right away.
Oh, here we go.
Boom, boom, boom. Let me see it, Grip. Let me see it, Grip.
Oh, was that it? Was it just the boom, boom, boom?
Yo,
that's just it. But that Ron Isley was.
Shout out to that Unk phase. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you know, speaking of uncles and everything, I will say the boom, 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 to use an overused word. Dare I say, the intro's iconic. Hey, shout out to Carl Moe real quick, the producer, because this beat is an all-timer for me. But the intro is perfect because it has that lead up that, you know, a lot of artists forego these days because everything's TikTokified and you got to get right into the action. But it reminds me of, like, you know, boom, boom. You have enough time to get situated and run to the dance floor. That's what that is to me. Or like everybody in the barbecue, oh, here we go. And you get up from the seat and leave your ribs on the table and the fly start eating it. And you start boogieing with your family. That you know, you just, you know what it is immediately. That's why it's iconic. And it gets you pumped up before the verse comes in. You know, everything about this song is perfect.
The way you move is Unk music in a positive way, and that Nelly record is Unk music derogatory.
Music derogatory, for sure.
It really felt like Ron Isley just popped out of a cake or something, because it was just like a little bit of build up there. Woo!
We know about Ron. That boy wild to this day, you know.
Yeah, he was collabing with hashtag that man still.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. You're looking at the plug. Ooh. Okay, we know who wrote that. All right, it was that man. And I'm gonna bring it back. I already just told. I think that was last week we told him. I'm bringing the drop back. Okay, if you know, listen, everybody can hear that. You wonder who wrote it?
Use your common sense.
You know who wrote it? Okay, it's that man. All right, and he's locked up. For good reason. All right.
He's trying to give that man some work, you know?
Oh, brother.
That's all. And look, because it's Ron Isley, we're not going to say anything about it, okay?
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend.
Listen, I'm just saying, ask questions is all I'm saying.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Like when you oh my gosh, I think this is the perfect opportunity to bring it up. Me and my friend Marcus, we were, y'all know the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, obviously, right? So we came up with we were talking about singers that are going to hell. And
amazing topic.
We were, so I asked, I was like, who's on Hell's Waiting to Exhale soundtrack? And the list is a star-studded event. On that word to Paul Wall, it's a star-studded event when they valet park. It's crazy.
Open up my mouth. You know, I feel it.
But yeah, no, obviously Robert's on there, Ron Isley's on there, Marvin Gaye's on there, Prince is on there, Bill Withers is on there.
Oh damn, what Bill do?
Bill beat his wife.
Oh, Bill! Oh, I thought that was a gentleman.
Well, that's why, like, that's basically what stemmed from that Adjustments album. The reason they got divorced was because he was putting hands. Lovely Day? Yeah.
That's
man.
Crazy.
Lovely Day is like Jesse in 2019 when he got them divorce papers sent back to him.
Facts. Exactly. Rick James, Sam Cooke.
Oh, hell yeah. Sam Cooke for sure.
Yeah.
Bobby Womack.
Michael Jackson, Barry Gordy's Barry Gordy on here, Diddy on here, Devontae and Casey on here from Jodeci, Bobby Womack on here, Drake on here, Jimmy Page, and David Bowie on here.
I'm willing to playlist, but it's hell.
I'm willing to hear some alternative names on here, but like I felt like this was pretty bulletproof.
Hey, I'm putting Jaheim on the list for personal reasons. He ain't do nothing as far as I know, other than wear that hideous suit. But hey, he tried to ruin my childhood by influencing my dad to go out and find my stepmom. Shout out to her. But I was
I'm not saying he should replace anyone you named.
He put that woman first, dog.
He did, and I said, what about your kid? What about your child? Don't forget me. Okay.
He said, NFGIVEUP.
Yeah, you know. Come on.
I feel like Neo's auditioning to be on the soundtrack right now.
Oh, yeah, he just jumped out the window as a transphobe
right
all of a sudden.
He's like wild. He's wild.
He did the classic, I'm a transphobe. Actually, I'm not. You took my words out of context. I apologize if that was the case. And then like 6 hours later, like, you know what? I don't. The classic double down on the actual already having apologized. Maybe we can put this behind us.
Crazy.
It's, you know what?
Crazy.
So I'm not sorry.
He went full J.K. Rowling for no reason. It was like...
So I was a little scared to put this on Maine. I put this in my Twitter circle, but I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like every good male R&B singer got something fucked up about him. There is no such thing as a good male R&B singer. I feel like being a bad person means that I ain't never heard a good person be a good R&B singer besides Stevie Wonder, maybe.
There you go.
Maybe.
Besides Stevie. Well, hey, Stevie lied about being blind, so they say.
Facts.
So
that's immoral. That's not what God. That's not what God said to do. Going to hell for lying about being blind next to the pedophile was crazy too.
I think it's you know what? I look at it. He's working a gimmick.
Oh, that's crazy. Right. He workshopping this with Triple H. That's crazy.
Yeah, listen, H man, okay, Papa H is doing all the booking these days.
Crazy.
And Papa said this, okay? Papa said, you're gonna work a blind gimmick in this business. You know, hey, so, don't have so much of an opportunity to. What's with these wrestlers? Why do their throats all close up when they get in their 50s or 60s?
That blind gimmick is definitely a Shawn Michaels rib. He's ribbing Shawn Michaels for that. Yeah, no, like Triple H, he pulls Stevie off to the side. He was like, "So you see my guy Shawn? What's his shoot name?
Hickenbottom. Michael Hickenbottom.
Yeah, right? You see Hickenbottom over there, right, brother? So I want you to do the blind gimmick, and let's see how that performs in front of crowds. We're gonna have you up against Odyssey Jones next week."
Neo's in the crowd cheering for Odyssey Jones.
Neo's workshop. He saw the Sami Zayn hat gimmick, and he was like, "Well, I can cook something with that."
Oh my god!
and then that's why they had the little WWE cameras. They did them little photo shoots, and that's where that little that weird fish photo came from. It's from the Performance Center.
Oh my god! It's just a problematic show they put on. And of course, Velveteen Dream sneaks back in the crowd. He's watching. We know about him, that pedo. And he sees that his fellow problematic people are prospering. And he gets on Twitter and he says,
"Now control that narrative, you asshole."
Okay. There's room for problematic people. So he thinks, all right.
Listen, his back is too cooked. That man is moving like Ricky Morton in 2007. With his back, bro. Like, he's cooked. It's over for it. If his back wasn't cooked, he probably would have won the NXT belt. But he's no bullshit. I've got like 99% confidence. He saw him work in the build to the return, and then he was like, damn, ain't no audience here. And this man's ass with no audience. Man, get his ass out of here. I'm gonna keep my white boys cooking. I'm gonna keep my small white. He let that little GameStop worker beat Velveteen in a street fight. Yo, imagine getting worked on by the little man.
Yo, not for nothing. And my viewing of NXT these days is few and far between. But they seem to be fine with keeping a lot of the other accused sex pests like Gable Steveson or Matt Riddle or Austin Theory.
Austin Theory is the United States champion. He just faced John Cena. If we let's not pick and choose here. If we gonna do it, let's do it. That's always been my issue when people get like real righteous about it. I'm like, all right, are we gonna pick and choose about this and be fucked up about it, or are we gonna keep it real? And I would rather folks just be like, hey man, like when I listen to fucked up music, I'm like, listen, like if we're looking at this, we've got to acknowledge this. And I don't want to be the guy to pick and choose, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. We talk about this often, Wolves and I. It's like, my opinion is like, listen, I mean, as long as you don't like deny the problematic actions in defense of the artist because you love the music. I mean, say, yeah, I like the music, but he's a fucked up person. You know,
well, that's a part. That's what, and they're like, oh, well, that's a part of the music. I'm like, okay, like we live. You know, you got to hit them with the "we live in a society" bullshit. But like, you got to be like, listen, man. Like, are you gonna be that guy?
You got to hit him with that Jaden drop. Is what you got to do.
Where is it?
You know, because it's like, if you want to broach this subject and you really want to be serious, can we please?
You know?
Oh my God! Like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
We can, sure, we can, absolutely. When I hear R. Kelly and Chris Brown, I'll be like that. But then, you know, I'll be in my car and I'll play Cardi, and you know what Cardi out here doing, beating up his girlfriend, and like, you know, just don't make excuses for these people because you like their music.
Feel free to enjoy the art. I mean, the art has been left behind for your enjoyment. You know, and
I'm just saying, like that Quincy Jones record with all them boys on it, shit goes crazy. Heaven's Girl is crazy. I always end up being, I'll fucking be the martyr for it, but like, I'm not about to sit here and pick and choose. So either you're going to be consistent or you're going to, be like, oh man, I give up. Just call it for what it is. Like, nobody's telling you to be like, oh my gosh, he's such a nice guy. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just telling you to just be like, hey, like, I can't control. All you can really do at the end of the day is control how you are to the people in your life. And as long as you ain't defending that bullshit and you ain't doing cartwheels, trying to be like, oh my gosh, well, actually, you should understand about Tory Lane. Like, no, man, I don't have to.
Don't do the mental gymnastics. Exactly.
Just keep it a buck. Just be like, hey, man, he's evil. This shit jamming.
You know? It's that simple. It's really that simple.
Gucci threw a woman out of a car, and we still talking about mixtapes. Like, we talking about chicken talk right now. Y'all, like, come on, man.
You know, like, there's a bunch of who want to be like, oh, XXX Tilapia or whatever. He was turning his life around. It's like, I mean, look, that's besides the point.
I was there for it. He was always bad.
Yeah, you know. From the second I first saw this man in a mugshot, I'm like, that's a demon.
I gotta tell you something. I'm happy. That's one person I don't have to defend my listening of, okay? Because I don't listen to that person. I have no interest in involving myself with the affairs of that person.
I
got enough heat for listening to some of them 6ix9ine records, okay?
I was just my stepbrother. Me and him would play a lot of those records when like going to the gym, and I played Gummo, and I was like, "Yo, this is actually kind of crazy."
Bro, yeah. I hated how hype it was.
It's peak Gaines music, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, they're like, oh, he's Hispanic saying the N-word." I'm like, "Have you ever been to Florida in your life?
Have you ever heard rap before? You ever heard Fat Joe? You ever been to New York and meet any fucking Puerto Rican people in New York? I mean,
it happens. It definitely happens.
It is what it is. Not for me to comment on.
I've been in Texas. I've been in Florida. I've been in Atlanta. Hell, I've been in California. It's Mexican folks out there still saying it. Like, it's part of it. It's white folks still saying the N-word just all casual. Like it.
They out here.
Don't let the internet trick you. That's just what it is. Like, whether you co-sign that shit or not, absolutely. I ain't rocking, but like, that's just the fact of the matter. Unfortunately.
Listen, everybody.
You have 2 N-words. Neither of which should ever be mentioned.
All right.
I said that once. I said, oh, what a terrible thing to say. No.
All right, man. What reason do you have that drop?
Look, at this rate,
how do you even organize these drops? Like, you found
that's what I want to know, because I don't get a chance to actually see how they're.
It's mad sounds, and he found that in seconds.
It's a very involved process.
There's 100 sounds on here, and he was like, "Oh, it's that one."
We were remixing OutKast earlier live on the show. We were doing sped up versions of the exclusive tracks from the Greatest Hits album. So
y'all did the sped up version. Y'all motherfuckers play a 454 and shit.
Look, no stone
it's
will
a
be
whole
left
thing.
unturned if we have our way on this show. So,
That's so real.
I gotta thank you for coming on and shooting the shit with us for so long.
Oh no, like I've got plenty of energy. It's this kind of shit that I thrive on.
Listen, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you gave it a 10. I just want to say
We all gave it a 10. This is history. Moles, Mel, and a guest all give a song a 10. This has never happened before.
Also,
look,
y'all probably had mad questions and shit, and here I am doing Triple H impersonations for Stevie Wonder. That's crazy.
No, this is par of the course for this show. You fit in perfectly.
Hey, I got a question about the interview. Nah, let's talk about Bad Back in the Performance Center. Let's talk about Noodle Arms. Let's talk about Sammy Common Sense.
It is what it is. Okay, I mean, look, my final word on the song. Everybody wants to know. Listen, it's a 10. I cry sometimes to it. I think it should be played at my funeral. Matter of fact, shout out Styles if you're listening. He said to me in the group chat recently he wanted his casket to be wheeled in to J. Cole's "Too Deep for the Intro," and when we lower him into the grave, he wants LL Cool J Head Sprung to play for some reason.
Only fulfill the second half of that. Don't fulfill the first part. Too deep for the intro. We're not doing that, Playboy.
Oh, no, listen.
We're not doing that.
Play out the way you move.
You gotta play. Hey,
we gonna play literally anything else, big brother. We gonna do anything else. We not playing Too Deep for the intro. Play Erykah Badu. Play the original.
The fact
song.
that you would rather, Erykah Badu would fit more. The fact that you pick Head Sprung over that. Listen, my fellow coal miners, I'm sorry.
They call him
it's hard.
LL Cool J, like one of my goats. He inspires my whole swag.
You gotta lick your lips and be a sex symbol. You
Oh
know?
God!
This shit I want to go out to.
Hey Lover is the realest song ever. It's some of the realest rap you could ever imagine. You ain't
He's a Mac legend. You
ain't never seen a woman and be like, damn, she way more attractive now that she with somebody. It's gonna sound fucked up when I explain it, but like women when they're in relationships are it's the same reason women look at men that way. Like when I was in my first relationship, I saw women look at me crazy because I was a lot more confident. So they were like, "Oh my gosh, she looks cute."
Differently.
It's a real phenomenon. I thought it was cap until I was in a relationship. Yeah,
it's the same thing in reverse. This woman don't even got to worry about being insecure because she got somebody for that, and that makes her a lot more attractive. It's not my problem. Damn, she look good. How can I step in? You feel me?
Hey, so you done got me started. Hey, I'm gonna just say this: the chances of her listening are like 1 in 8 trillion. But hey, Aubrey, okay, I ain't seen you since 6th grade when this song was out. But I used to
Drake.
No, not Aubrey Grant. All right, Aubrey, I forgot her last name. I don't want to dox her. I know what it is. But Aubrey, listen, I used to daydream about you and listen to the way you move. Hey, if you out there, baby girl, I'm here. I'm 30 years old. I'm kind of washed. I'm doing a podcast. Ain't the most glamorous thing, but I'm here. I'm here if you need me. I'm here.
All right, I got something. There's a very small chance he's listening, but I want to say this. Okay, Tommaso Ciampa. To me, you look like an anti-Semitic cartoon, and that offends my sensibilities as a Jewish man trying to make it in this world. And every time I have to look at you, I'm reminded of the way that people view us. So I'd like you to change your face, if possible.
This man is requesting plastic surgery. Tommaso Ciampa.
Mel, you really practiced that Toronto accent just so that you could shoot your shot at Drake at the end of this recording. That's crazy.
No. Listen, Drake, I love you, but don't be concerned. Listen, this is going to be mad random, but I've already had one of my favorite artists think I was coming on to him. It's a long story, Caleb. I'm not going to get into it.
Hard.
But Charles Hamilton, when he was in the mental institute in 2011, we had a relationship. I would call him like every week because I was a stan, and I sent him a mix CD because he requested me to burn like a CD of some of his favorite songs and stuff. I put some of my songs on there and I sent it to him, and he's like, "Yo, this song is dope. Are you like coming on to me?" And I'm like, "No, this is actually for a song for a girl named Valerie." But like, I think he was weirded out ever since.
Slow down. You are a Charles Hamilton stan?
Bro, we can't get into it right now, but I will say
Charles Hamilton stan?
I gotta step in here and defend Mel.
Post
Mel and I met in a Charles Hamilton Stan Facebook group.
Y'all was in them trenches for real.
12, maybe 13 years ago now.
The blog era was really different. Like I look, different. I look back in hindsight, I'm like, yo, y'all was really being like, yo, shitty bang.
Mel has an excuse. He's 6 years younger than me, and other than Lil Wayne, he was still relatively new to hip hop, especially on the on the scale of like following artists individually and whatnot. I had much more skin in the game. I'm just a fucking idiot.
I'm gonna put it like this. Since I'm much younger than y'all, I think it's just I got skin since 2004. I was a 5-year-old obsessed with album cuts and shit. Thank God they did not give me the internet, because I would have been 8 years old trolling.
You would have been in the Hamilton group with us, I'm sure of it.
I would have made Dart Adams upset over like a Rakim post or some shit.
Oh man! Shout out Dart, friend of the show.
Like, fuck KRS-One.
Oh man.
That type shit. You gotta hit on, this shit ass, and then you're gonna be like, listen, you don't understand history. You see, the funniest tweet that I ever saw was somebody was responding to him. He was like, "Fight the Power is the ultimate summertime jam." He was like, brother, ain't nobody trying to hear that in the summer. I was like, damn. He kind of cooking.
Dart is.
I was like, damn,
amazing.
I ain't allowed to say that, but like, damn, you playing that? Like, he was like, turn off that summertime.
I gotta play the Dart Adams drop now. Where's the Dart? If you listen,
Dart Adams,
you official. I'll slap the shit out of anybody who says I ain't.
No.
All right.
Okay. Shout out to Dart.
I'd never heard the way he talked. All of that adds literally everything up to me. That makes so much sense. That makes he blocked me on my first account. I remember, because I went through like 3 accounts. He blocked me on my first one, and I was like, when I was the first time, I was like, I'm glad. I was like, man, Boston hip hop and shit. Like, motherfucker talking about Marky Mark.
And then this is the thing. Dart is such a wealth of knowledge. I love this dude. And like, I remember he first came on the show, I was so intimidated. I mean, I still am, honestly, because dude is cool. Dude is cool as hell. I love Dart.
I'm just saying, we being intimidated by journalists now. Like, come on, man. None of these dudes scrap. I was talking to Jeff Weiss about this. I'm like, none of these people want to scrap. I've offered the fade to like 4 people online. None of them want to do it. So like, let's quit all the tough talk. Like, I'm 6'4", 300. I will give you a swirly, you limp bastard. Like,
I think you're a little too big for the wrestling business, unfortunately.
Facts.
Yeah, we got a lot stands right now.
A lot of vanilla redacteds running around.
You see why I don't like fucking Johnny Gargano? Like, don't nobody want to see that fake. That's not real hip hop.
If I wanted to see a guy like that, I'd go down the street to the deli. Okay.
All right, Kevin. You know what?
Is this a work or a shoot?
On this topic, Gargano and Robbie, what was the thing? Chumpo, as we call him, with the anti-Semitic, face. All right, it reminds me. Yeah, I brought this in. Look, because you said that, and I was thinking about Kanye, and then we started talking about Charles. Listen, Aubrey, if you thought I was hitting on you, Charles, you thought I was hitting on you, let me bring in the Nazi.
Does this look gay to you? Well, I don't know what else to say to you.
Okay, all right, there you go.
He hit that note. That's crazy. I need to see the source of that. I might mess around and use that.
It's the Kanye VH1.
That's not the only one from that performance where he talks about being gay.
Oh yeah, listen, because here's the thing, I had to clarify.
Because you do not want to be accused of being gay.
There is a lot, okay? And then hopefully, he stops being a Nazi and he can return to us and says,
a lot of things that you learn are wrong.
Okay, get off them boards you on, Kanye.
This just reminds me of that LeBron quote where he was like, "Listen, if you're gay and you don't tell people, you're untrustworthy." I thought that was so funny.
LeBron said that.
Yeah, LeBron. He said, "Let me find that quote." It's so fucking funny. Hold on, the LeBron gay quote. This is gonna look crazy in my search history. Yeah. First thing that pops up with teammates, you have to be trustworthy, and if you're gay and you're not admitting that you are, then you are not trustworthy. Via the New York Times.
Shit.
That is crazy. I had no idea.
He said, "Embrace your truth." That's so real. Y'all not listening. Listen, folks gonna think that's problematic. He just telling folks to live their truth. #ally, #LeBron.
Just a kid from Akron.
Look, right now, me and LeBron are on the outs, so I'm going to construe anything in bad faith. You know this.
#GOAT, #better than Jordan.
Look, man, we know about LeBron. He's saying that, but if they came out to him, trying to be a good teammate, he would, be like...
And yeah, I want to put that out there, man. This man ain't never seen me naked. I ain't never seen him naked. We don't desire to do no shit like that. We ain't going out like that.
Okay. Come on, LeBron.
That's crazy. He said he really... Y'all saying he didn't like playing against the Nets because Jason Collins was on there. Y'all fucked up. Y'all are terrible.
Which reminds me, see, this is how tangents happen on the show. What was it? Aesop Rocky was on stage at that award show.
Oh yeah,
and he was with Jason Collins. He was like, shout out to the gay community, and he gestured to Jason Collins, who was standing right so
hard, dog. He pointed hard as shit to Jason. He was like, even the gay ones, and he did his whole body to the left. Jason Collins was just kind of standing there because it's tall.
He was standing there, and he was standing there, and in his mind, he had the Whoopi Goldberg. He was sitting there like,
okay.
Oh my God! Yeah, listen, you
get carried away with the soundboard. We got over 1,000 drops in there, so
yeah.
1,000 drops is crazy. 1,000 drops is even crazier. I'm thinking y'all got a couple hundred. What do you mean you have 1,000 drops? What do you mean?
What's the official count at, Mel?
Let me see. Let me do the. Let me see. Let me do the right quick.
I thought we were maybe at 1,500 or so. But
it says here 1,631 files.
Oh yeah, this is. Oh yeah, I'm looking for that Whoopi Goldberg. This number 1432. Like, what do you mean, bro?
I mean, listen. It sounds like I'm very organized. I am organized. I can find this stuff, but don't get it confused. Listen, folks.
I am smart, but I'm also kind of a dumbass.
Okay,
he knew exactly where that was. He said that in conversation. I would have froze, bro. I would have been like, yo, I gotta look for this drop real quick. You was like, nah, I know exactly where it's at. That's crazy.
I mean, sometimes I gotta find them, but for the most part, it's just a data bank of just disembodied phrases that I carry around.
To the point where, we're hoping by 2030 we no longer have to speak on the show.
That'd be kind of hard. Yo, let's review Utopia, and then it's just all AI.
It's all AI and drops. It's just we will have little AI avatars, and we can hit that Vince Russo.
Bro, look at me. I'm a cartoon character. Get a load of this.
Okay.
Travis Scott make that. Travis Scott make that Zack Snyder music. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
Listen, at this point, we know about Travis Scott. All right, every single thing that Travis Scott does can ultimately just be reduced to a Mike Dean mixed version of gigantic baroque avant-garde trap nonsense.
I must say,
okay?
you usually are on point with the soundboard, but tonight you're really showing out.
Yeah, this is like the All-Star game. Like, how did you find that, bro? We just I hit Travis Scott 2 seconds ago. He was like, yo, I know exactly where that ad lib is. Like, what do you even label that what do you even label that as? Like,
if you want to know, the name of that file is just guttural.
I was about to say, like, how do you try and spell that noise out?
See, in my mind, I'm thinking at least it starts with Travis. So you hit T, go to Travis.
It's just guttural. That's right. That's a surprise bomb. You'd be like, yo, I wonder what guttural is. And then it's, yeah.
Now, before we go, I mean, I think it's only right. Caleb here's our Kevin Gates drop. It's one of my favorites.
Wait, the one we've been playing?
Oh, our classic. I mean, our staple.
Yeah. Okay.
And Caleb, if you join us by putting one hand in the air, like the bloodline, with the one finger up towards the sky. If you don't mind doing that, we're gonna play a little Nas New World. Because we're in a new world. A new world where all the people on the review have a 10, including the guests.
Here we go, man. Ever since the Nostradamus review, this has been a gimmick. Here we go.
Later. Yo, welcome to the new world, new beginning, a new way to play, a new way of living. Past is the past, a new way of spending. New life for men, children and women. Welcome to the new world, new beginning, a new way to play, a new way of living. Past is the past, a new way of spending. A new life for men, children and women. Yo, the new Mike Tyson's Roy Jones.
You always gotta play it to that part.
New Mike Tyson is Hey, yeah. Kevin Gates' voice. I can't co-sign that bit, brother, but I ain't mad at you for what you said.
Listen, it's.
I must say this has been a blast, and we want to give you the floor to plug anything, shout outs. I mean, whatever you got on your mind. Now's the time to let it be known where people can find you, etc.
Fuck with me on Twitter. That's where I talk most of my shit. Caleb Cat 23, and subscribe to the Middle of Nowhere on Substack. You subscribe $5, you're gonna be supporting my soda habit. If you drop a 50 piece to help me get gas, you can throw an idea at me. I'll do it within reason, as long as you ain't making me do payola drops. I ain't doing that. But I will bear through bad movies. I'll review bad albums. Give me your best shot at it. Just drop that 50 piece on the year piece. We'll rock out from there. Other than that, man, just fuck with me on Twitter. I just be chilling. I'm not a real writer.
Well, listen, I think you're a great guy. All right. So
y'all really shit on here. I fuck with y'all. Y'all gotta bring me on. Y'all gotta bring me on again.
Oh, you're for sure.
Yeah, listen,
welcome back.
I'm not just talking shit. I mean, we had a lot of fun here.
I know. Y'all. I probably made y'all throw out like mad questions. Y'all was like, "Yo, let's talk about the interview some more." Nah, fuck that. Listen, fuck.
It was a struggle just to get my archival in. I'm thinking, all right, how can we segue it? All right, we'll go from talking about Pharrell. Well, Pharrell worked with Nelly on this song from this album, so we dive into it from there. But yeah, man, we appreciate what you bring to the table, and for you coming on here to rock with us. So yeah, folks, find him on social media, check out his work, subscribe, and we'll be right back with more Speaker Box. We've also got the Love Below coming up. I mean, I think we have several more hours of recording to do. So, yeah. Caleb, once again, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll have you back soon.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Yeah, just stick around for a second. Audio got to upload, the whole thing. It takes like a couple seconds. But, yeah, folks, we'll be back for track 6. It's been a great time. Shout out to Caleb. And, yeah. Track 8, Get Out of the Car. 9-.
10. Now, I just want to say something. Jesse, you motherfucker. I asked for some clarification style for Mel regarding
how many 10s
I've actually given out in the history of the show. So I'd like to just read this to you in full transparency. I believe it's in the best interest of everybody to hear this. So, season 0, the preseason. 0 10s. Not a 10 in sight. Season 1, 3 10s. One Day by UGK, Growing Pains by Ludacris, and I Used to Know Her by DJ Quick. Oh, hey, we're covering next week, DJ Quick. Season 2, 0. Season 3, 0. Season 4, 0. So we went 3 seasons in a row without me having a single 10. Season 5, 110. All About You by Tupac. Season 6, 0. Season 7, 2. Aquemini and Spodioti Dopalicious by OutKast. Season 8, 1. Ain't No Fun by Snoop Dogg. Season 9, 1. Many Men by 50 Cent. Season 10, 1. Roll With the Winners by Clips and the Re-Up Gang. Season 11, 2. The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. And Still Not a Player by Big Pun. Season 12, 0. His biggest disappointments, it's very unlikely you'd get 10. But season 13, 4. All on Speakerbox Love Below. Hey Ya, Unhappy, The Way You Move, and Vibrate. And now season 14, my first 10 of the season, Get Out the Car by Aesop Rock, my 16th 10 in show history. I say that to say this. I don't hand out 10s very often. I don't know, right. Jesse, why every time I give a song a 10, which specifically refers to my personal enjoyment, the meaning that I get from the song, and the enjoyment that I derive from it, why it's always ain't no 10. Because I feel like that portrays me, Mools, the captain, as a 10-given fool. I'm anything but. I rarely give out 10s.
We both rarely give out 10s because we take
this is my 16th 10 in the history of on the show. Mel was saying he has probably even less than that.
Probably maybe half of that. I didn't do my count. Maybe I'll give it to him if somebody wants it. But yeah, we take that rating seriously. That just like we take a 1 seriously. We don't just hand out 10s. I know, that's the problem with a lot of people are hyperbolic. People aren't actually stopping to think about how they feel.
I
haven't handed out a 1 yet either.
A 2- is the lowest I've ever gone.
I feel like I may have not even handed out a 2. I might have handed out a 3.
You haven't. I think you've given a 3 or a 3+.
Yeah, which listen, I'm not just gonna tell you I hate something all haphazardly, all flippantly, and be very trivial. Like the fucks from the blog era we were talking about in the Dorks episode. Everything was either goated, the best thing ever, or they dismissed it as trash. So
this is a 10. This is a song that started at an 8 or a 9, I would say, but has grown to become a 10 for me. And when it became a 10, it never stopped being a 10. Within I'd say the first year or 2 of this album being out, it was an 8+, 9-.
Uh-huh.
And then by 2018, this one became damn, this shit is the only other 10 in his catalog other than Gopher Guts for me. He has a song that I could say is maybe tied with Gopher Guts as my favorite Aesop Rock song of all time. One of the most emotional records I have ever heard in any genre. When Post Malone said that shit about if you want to listen to music to feel things and to if you want to cry, you can't listen to rap. And it's bullshit. Are you kidding me? This is some of the most gripping, heartfelt writing I've ever experienced. There's no drums on this one. It's all really just this this guitar, you've got synths, you've got this bass on there, but it's all pretty upfront in the mix, so it's all being felt. It's not I think back to the Atmosphere review in season 8, and there's that song Guarantees that's him with the acoustic guitar playing, and that's kind of the whole thing. This doesn't feel like that to me. This still feels like it's produced in some way, even though, there's no programming on here to speak of. The music's really still moving everything forward, and it's it's so upfront in the mix that it's very present. The mix is very full, despite the fact there's no drums on here. In terms of like talking about grief, talking about depression, trying to find a way out of those things, this is deeply felt. It is beautifully written. It's delivered expertly. And I mean, it's only one verse on here. It's obviously a perfect song alert.
I literally wrote obviously perfect verse alert.
But perfect verse alert. You know, this is a record about his relationship with Camu Tao, who he considered to be, you know, one of his closest friends. And he said on Twitter, the song Get Out of the Car, as he calls it on here, was originally called The Impossible Kid, but I took the name for the album and then renamed the song. That was him on Twitter. He also said, Get Out of the Car. Once again, it's not the name of the song, but I make the same mistake sometimes as well. He says, Get Out of the Car is about realizing a bunch of shit you always considered to be separate may have been more linked than you realized.
Wait, hold on a second. The name of the song is not Get Out of the Car?
No, it's Get Out the Car, I believe.
I got a name that's Get Out of the Car.
All right, maybe my copy has the wrong title then.
Well, I mean, I don't blame you because he doesn't say the at the end of the song. He just says "Get out the car." Right. So you know,
I don't know. For some reason,
I remember we'd be too busy crying.
Okay, I don't know. Look, whatever it's called, you know? Get out the car. Get out of the car. He also says it's also about missing my brother Camu Tao, and obviously not his brother by birth, but through friendship. And I want to read this. He posted on Instagram about their relationship, and here's the first post I'm going to read. He said, "This is Taro Camu Tao Smith, possibly my favorite person ever. 9 years ago today, I walked out on stage at Soundset to announce his passing to a parking lot full of kids that just wanted to enjoy some music in the sun. I wanted to disappear. I think about this man every day. This whole shit ain't shit without this person. To anyone who followed what my crew was doing in the 2000s, this is the glue. You should all know that. This is the energy of all of it. This is the source for so much of what we were doing in those days. The attitude and aggression and humor and love. This was the inspiration. This was the fountain of ideas and characters and rhymes and jokes and voices that would stop for nothing. He shaped all of us. This man could wrap circles around you and me and all these clowns. His voice was beautiful and loud and entirely singular, and he could sing. I could hear it now. I love his voice. This man freestyled all fucking day. Like, all fucking day. Like, dude, stop. We would laugh and laugh and laugh until the wee hours, then do it all again the next day. Ride BMX bikes to Cages or barbecue with LP and Keith. You made good salmon. Break to Manhattan to listen to beats at Tony's. Catch up with Shannon and make the rounds. Hit a Baby D show. Fresh sneakers from Gavin Weekly. Not a care. Young and dumb and eager and maybe too stoned. I played him an early version of None Shall Pass in Columbus while he lay dying on his couch. And he would yell shit like, those drums are fucking whack. Change that. He was right. The drums were bad for business. None of it is fun without you, Moo. We're just going through the motions out here. I forgot how to laugh. Squeeze your friends. Okay. Love. Peace." So he wrote another post on the anniversary of his passing, and said specifically about this record, "I remember it was hard to write a song about him. Skeleton was when I started thinking about trying, but I knew I wouldn't really be able to approach the subject head on. I ended up making Crows 1 and Crows 2, which are death heavy and certainly inspired by the emotions in the years following Moo's death. I was able to talk about it while abstracting it enough to at least get the words out. I was also able to get in a lighthearted story about him on racing stripes. Later, I was able to write something more concise about his passing on Kimya Dawson's Walk Like Thunder, and once again, on Get Out of the Car from The Impossible Kid. I don't know. I'm just talking.
You know, I've been fortunate enough to, I don't believe, have felt a loss this close to me. And not like in a way like I'm ranking the loss, but I mean in the sense that like I remember probably the loss that's affected me most deeply in my life was probably my great grandma when I was like, I think 7 or 8 or 9 maybe. And that was like the first person who I knew that was like I was really adored and was close to. And then, you know, I have to deal with death and figure out what that means to me. But in my adult, like, you know, like the people where it's like, God forbid, because I don't know where I would be without them. I don't know what that looks like, and I don't want to know what that looks like. You know,
unfortunately, I have experienced it, not just, you know, talking about the loss of my mom when I was 6, but also most recently the loss of my grandfather. And in between all of that, I have lost friends. I've lost my friend Buran originally from Turkey, but obviously he was living in the U.S. And he passed away because he was given. I don't want to get into the details of it, but he was done a disservice at the end of his life. My friend Willie passed away, also drug-related. My friend Everett, who is Shah and Ralik's cousin, passed away from cancer 2008, I believe. And I associate him with this song, you know, because this is a song about losing a friend.
Yeah.
And out of all my friends who passed, Everett was probably the closest of my friends who are no longer with us, in the circumstances of, you know, witnessing him succumb to his illness. And again, I don't want to just put everyone's shit out there, but, you know, I not only relate to this song on that level, but just the, I guess, musings on feeling detached and depressed, and, you know, the emotions that are brought up in this verse, I unfortunately relate to, you know, but I find that this song is kind of like a salve. Like, as much as the song might literally break me down and make me start bawling, I've always looked at the song as like a hopeful song, ultimately, that inspires me, at least, to persevere through those kind of feelings.
This is kind
although
of
you're taking like a very harsh approach to it. Like, it's a very realistic approach to, you know, self-actualization, I guess.
probably like, you know, well, I like just self taking
fulfillment.
ownership over your feelings and your state,
Right.
and just, you know, self-awareness,
but perseverance,
accountability,
for sure, you know,
like, what was I gonna say? This I feel the same in the sense that this is a sort of hopeful record, and I unfortunately relate to it heavily. You know, you said this is a song that it like started as like an 8 or 9 and it went up to a 10 and never left. This is one this week where I kind of had to reacquaint myself with why it was what it. So in 2016, I was, you know, I remember being moved to tears on like, you know, initial listen. It was like a 9. And then I made, I don't want to say the mistake, but like the decision to add this to like a playlist that I have, a running playlist. It's just called Blue. And it's, you know, basically emo male classics, things that I feel like songs that understand the human condition and how messy and gray things can get being a human being. But the thing with a playlist is you might hear a song more than perhaps you need to, if that makes sense. And playlisting things, it's like you kind of become desensitized in a way. So like the song, it kind of dropped to an 8+ to where, you know, I wasn't crying every time, you know. So I kind of had to remove myself from that mindset of having heard the song so much. It's like I was telling you briefly on the phone earlier, it's not a song that you should be listening to as much as I was, you know, but it was a part of like a collection of music that I would throw on when in certain moods, or when not even so much sad, but just not in the mood to hear anything upbeat or cheery or energetic or even, you know. So, you know, I have a show to do, RAB ranking. So it's like, all right, I got to get into this record and really get to the core of why I feel.
Now, when you were telling me about that, I was like, I really need to make sure that this is a 10. You had me like a little, you know, concerned. Like, am I tripping? Am I just like, is this like Yesterday by Atmosphere where it started as a 10 and then I had to come back like 2 weeks later and say, no, it's actually like a 9. I don't like the production that much or whatever. That's not an issue here. I have no complaints about the production whatsoever. It, you know, I think contributes to the emotion of the record. Bro, I gotta tell you, like, when he gets into that, you know, just the opening bars, honestly, been a bit since Moo died, been a lot more lost in the wake, is just like a heavy opener. But when he gets into nah, mean, when you wake up 8 years non-responsive, it's a lot to process. Just when he said that and I started crying again, I'm like, yep, this is one of those songs where, like, if I'm listening to it in the proper context, which to me is in the context of this album, starting this album from the beginning, by the time you get to this song, especially the fact that it's coming off of an emotional record to begin with, in Blood Sandwich, man, this is an emotional wallop every single time within the context of this album. I can't tell, you know, this isn't a song that I playlist for like listening for enjoyment's sake, but I'm just bowled over by it like every time I listen to this album. It's just so affecting.
You know, in the context of this album, I actually feel like this is the result of, you know, say retreating to this barn, and now you have this quiet to sort of sit with yourself, and these things start to arise and you start to address them for the first time. Glad you said that,
because when I moved back to Long Island from like 2012 to 2014, I'm like living by myself for the first time, no roommates.
Yeah.
And I thought like the freedom of that is going to be great, right? Like, you know, I set the tone, no one's around to bother me. It's my own place. And I got to tell you, like, it only took a couple days for me to start becoming a real prisoner of my fucking mind.
That cabin fever is a real
We were
thing.
talking in season 11 on that Kevin Gates. I feel like this wall's talking to me. I feel like this wall's talking to me. I'm a prisoner of my own mind. Okay? That's how I was feeling.
Prisoner in my own mind. Yeah. Look, it's funny you say that because I've said probably to you even plenty of times. It's like I can't wait to finally live on my own, to have that space and set the tone and everything. I think I'll be fine though, because it's something I've wanted for so long, and I've experienced in small slivers to where I think I know to expect that sort of cabin fever and how to avoid it. Because the first time I ever really got that was in 2015 when like my dad and my stepmom, they went out of town for something and like they left the house to me for like 2.5 months, something like that. And I'm like,
I figured it out because I was not about to let myself go crazy.
Right.
I made it a point to, if I'm not going to see friends in person, which I would try to do, I'm at least like on the phone talking to them, like you have to still find a way to interact with people socially, even if it's like, I'm going to go to Barnes and Noble.
Yeah. It's just, I'm going to go outside. I started going to Walmart just to like,
you have to expose yourself to the elements to make sure that you don't go crazy, and just try to do a better job of staying on top of, talking to your friends and family, making sure you're not completely isolated in every sense. Like you're not talking to anyone, you're not seeing anyone. You go like 3 or 4 days of that, like no phone call style, no interacting with like people in the public, and you're just in the house. Your mind is you're in solitary confinement, basically.
Yeah,
your mind's going to go into very dark places.
I didn't know the effect of that until that year when it happened, because usually when my dad was home or when I was at my grandparents' house or wherever, I'm interacting with people, but also, we're going out, we're going places. It wasn't until then where I realized, oh, I've been in the house like 4 days straight. Like I haven't left like for anything. And you start to cave in on yourself. Like
yes.
And I'm already a person who does a lot of ruminating and thinking and just, I'm always in my mind to begin with, but to be in your mind and not go anywhere, it does something. Brutal. You start, and luckily I'm self-aware enough to catch myself, because I found myself getting like really paranoid and like testy with like my friends on like, and I was like, oh, I'm tripping. Like I caught myself like, oh, this is happening because like I don't have anyone to like bounce off of other than myself, and I'm starting to like, delude myself in different ways.
Right.
And I was able to bring myself back.
In this verse, we mentioned it earlier, the Midas line, but he says, he said, "Oh, Shazbot, not the ever after he wanted from the once upon a time ... Once upon a time, he was so much more than a punchline for his own pot shots. Watch the Impossible Kid. Everything that he touched turned promptly to shit. If I zoom on out, I could finally admit it's all been a blur since Moo got sick. None of the subsequent years stood a chance, whether you was mom's or his man's, whether you was pops or his girl, I was poison. Heart full of canines, head full of voices. Whole life trying to quiet him down like a suicide king with a knife in his crown. Hounds at bay, but they just won't stay. True friendship in a tugboat way." It's a lot to take in. This whole verse is really a lot to take in. The "no one ain't half the battle," that's a bullshit quote written by some asshole.
Bro, I love that line because most of my life I never understood, or rather never respected, the phrase ignorance is bliss until one day I had the realization. I'm like, you know what? A lot of the pain that I feel is all come from knowledge. Knowledge of different
bullshit
things.
Quip. Rather, he says, "No one ain't half the battle." That's a bullshit quip written by some asshole.
The more you know, the more you suffer.
And then he says, "You can own what you are and still sit around stoned in your car and not doing shit, halfway to nil, cranky and waiting for a boss key and hat full of bills. Get out the car, Ace." And that "get out the car" is that reminder to me, and that honestly the thing that makes it like a hopeful record or a motivational one. It's like, get out of this funk, crawl out of this hole that you're in.
You know, do something. And I mean, like, I agree with him in the sense that, like, yeah, knowing ain't half the battle, because I'm a very self-aware person. And after so many years, it was like around, I don't know, it must have been somewhere between 18 and like 21 where I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's not enough. Like, okay, I'm self-aware. What now? Yeah, I know what my issues are. What now? Like, I think about myself relentlessly and what I am and who I am in relation to this, that, and the other, but it hasn't gotten me anywhere. So what are you going to do now? You can own what you are and still sit around stoned in your car, not doing shit halfway to nil. Yeah. You know? And it's kind of the curse of knowing yourself too, is like, because you're really fucked up when you have self-actualized and it still hasn't amounted to anything.
Exactly, because then it's not hell, it's purgatory.
Yes, it's that stasis, and that's where it ties back to the line earlier when he says, you know, when you wake up 8 years non-responsive, it's a lot to process. Right now, that line hit me different this week because I spent the last 7 years in Peoria feeling stuck and in stasis unintentionally, mind you. I wasn't supposed to be there that long. And it feels like moving back here, it's like I kind of woke up a bit out of this new environment. And it's like, it is a lot to process. How did this happen? What did that all mean, if anything? Because, of course, it's the fear that, like, hey, it's just one of those moments in life where you got to go through a bunch of shit. And ultimately, it doesn't mean much of anything unless you make it mean something, you know? If you don't try, then yeah, you just got fucked for no reason, you know? And this is a song where it had dropped back, and then this week it's like, no, I do love this record. And I had to remind myself why, and not just let it wash over me as it had been over the past 6 years, like as a song on a playlist that I would occasionally feel more days than other days.
From the situation that made you feel despondent,
yeah,
you know, maybe the record has kind of regained some meaning for you.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, even before this song existed, like when I first heard the song, I was reflecting on, you know, you could say 2015 to 2014 to 2016, or even 93 to 2016, you know, it's from the very beginning when he says, you know, talking about his friend dying and being a lot more loss, there having been a lot more loss in the wake of that. He says, I recall thinking someday someone's going to say it's all from the same cause and effect, and I just couldn't fathom, blaming a whole new page on a made up chain reaction. This idea of not wanting to accept that was the thing making him feel that way, I can relate. Because there are certain traumatic events in my life that I'm certain weren't that traumatic, or rather weren't as impactful as you would believe, or as a person would believe. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been to therapy. I've mulled over these things a few times. You know, I mean, there's a lot in my life where I could easily be like, oh yeah, that probably had a profound impact on how I view the world and how I process my emotions. But, you know, I've been like, nah, it wasn't that. It was more so this. But, you know, it could be a therapist or maybe a reevaluation of my own thought where it was like, you know, this actually was more than you thought it was. Like I had this realization in the past year. It was like something that happened to me in 5th grade that I didn't I thought about it my entire life. And then suddenly, you know, at the age of like 29, I'm like, oh, you know what? That's why I respond this way to, like, you know, feeling like someone is like lording over me, or like I'm powerless in a situation when someone is like, you know, like, it's not to get into it, but like what he's basically saying, someone's going to say it's because of your friend dying. And it's like, I can't fathom
him saying also on Twitter, it's about realizing a bunch of shit you always considered to be separate may have been more linked than you realized.
Right. You know, each claim individual peaks and pockets, pains, and a slew of unique nuances. Nah, I mean, it's like, yeah, you don't, you want to think everything but like, listen, it's all interconnected at the end of the day. And I break down at different parts in this verse, but like listeners, long-time listeners know the persona of emo Mel. I claim it openly.
Mm-hmm.
Gone from a happier Jack in the Box to a package of clogged up chakras. Oh, Shazbot, not the ever after he wanted from the once upon a time ... Once upon a time, he was so much more than a punchline for his own pot shots. Listen, people,
Man.
I wasn't born emo Mel. In fact, there are tons of home videos and pictures and what have you.
Watch This Is Melvin. You witness the birth of emo Mel.
Yeah, the things that did it and kind of that trend. I was a very happy and hopeful and passionate and bright-eyed kid. And before I knew it, it went away. Like, and I know that the events and like, I know when the transition happened, but I was still blindsided by it. And before I knew it, I was in the throes of it and couldn't get out. Like, I recall freshman year of high school, finally asking myself, it's like, wait, am I depressed? Like that word, like that clinical word, like, is that what I am? Like, and I don't want to get into my life, but it's like,
I was saying in the OutKast speaker box review when we did Unhappy, a 10, that was a song where I was starting to like also come to the realization that like there's something deeply wrong with my mood. And I didn't know what was going on. And again, like, could depression be something that I was destined to have because my mom died years earlier, but like that PTSD and that, the ill effects of that happening to me would really most show themselves a few years later? These are things that you ask yourself when you're like, well, I was a happy kid. What happened? Oh
my God, man. Oh my God. All right. See, because I'm trying to not turn this into a therapy session, but yes. Yeah. What happened?
Why? That's what this album is.
It is, isn't it? And the thing is, I know what happened. And some days I replay it and I feel an intense feeling of fury and bitterness. Sometimes it's sadness. It's rarely hope these days, because the whole idea was, by now I would have turned things around and made those trows in my life lead to peaks. Like, it would have come full circle, and it's like I can look back on these things and be like, well, that was a dark time, but I found my way out of it. And unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet, and that could make you start to really stay in the car, so to speak, And I mean, just even that metaphor, I spent a lot, and I mean a lot of time in parking lots in the past 7 years. And, it's, doing delivery driving, but not just that. It's just like waking up in the middle of the night and not wanting to be trapped in that room and just getting in the car and driving to the Walmart parking lot or the Schnucks parking lot or a parking lot in East Peoria and just sitting there and just to get out of the house, but also not having anywhere to go and just being there. And that parking lot began to represent being frozen in this point and just not being able to get out. And even a parking lot in itself, you're parked.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere. And I mean, listening to songs like this and just replaying many scenes in my life and just feeling like I can't get out of the car. No matter how much I'm trying to, like, all right, I'm gonna get emotional. So I'm gonna just, folks, 8 years been one long blindside. Okay. And it's like I could pinpoint 7 more turns that occurred because he never really healed from the first. That accumulation of traumas when you're just trying desperately to unravel these things while other things are being piled on top, and you realize I can't. Like, Oh, what a world. You know, a phrase I often say to myself and just private, just talking to myself, what a life. Like, I'll say that probably a few times a week. Oh, what a world. Any hack is a myth. Any dap is a joke. Any map is a trick. This is how you start to view the world. You just become hopeless. And that's why I love this song, because he gets to the root of that gray and that muddiness and just that quicksand of life where you're just drowning, man. And it's, you can't let that happen to yourself. If you're lucky enough to still have that voice inside, as faint as it becomes, to just be like, get out of the car.
Yep.
And I'm see now.
We got archival audio, probably the most for any track on here. Man. There's one in the folder we're not going to play, but we're going to play everything else.
Okay.
And we're going to dive into Aesop's collaborations with Camu Tao, because I feel like what better record to dive into that than this one is very much a tribute record to him.
Yeah.
It's dealing with a lot of other things and the after effects of all of it, but ultimately I feel like it's a beautiful tribute to him. So, let's check out as chronologically as I think I was able to piece things together, and then we kind of have a little bonus track with a explanation from Aesop as well. We're going to start with Weathermen. This is definitely, I think all the stuff we're playing is like Def Jux era. This is Reports of a Possible Kidnapping, featuring Aesop Rock, LP, Cage, and Camu Tao.
All right, this is it. Here it is.
That shit's a serious thing, man. You know why? Because we're fucking stars. We don't believe it yet. The money's not star status. But guess what? In our brains, and sometimes we're in a room by ourselves, we can fucking have our emotions, man. We let our emotions run fucking wild. Fucking cocksuckers.
Canaries in the coal mine drop. Knock, knock, squash, bovine, and find God. Came to play the dozens with survivors of the autoplays. Fungus that clung as the shiny hypodermics alternate. Swarm out through the AC in the upper space. Spores like coyotes descending over your rows of golden corn. Mary, Mary's little lamb is one of three absorbed. My friend, you were the pecking orders whore. Roger, Dodger, camp at a squalor contra. The single seller scissors walking the two dogs of Yama on a choke. Scattered bacteria. This is more than Darwin with the tooks and the books of the magisterium. Wore the blackest suit to fill up in the blackest chariot. Everyone's a virgin at the Kraken cafeteria. Jovial Mousy emote, Zodiac rosary of goats. You could be the next microbial host. Silver Odessa where the novas explode. Pale pink moon waxing. Purple hearts, marigold taxis. Dubious credentials on the gypsy flipping vaccines. Snake oils, tonics, the pathogens are adapting. Made a brain fog, strange days, palm base cards, make it rain frogs. Fish eye on a cradle and a manger made of skulls. With overkill to follow, I'm just one to change the bulb. An exit of a 750 cc's in a murdered outfit that's still shifting. Jowls on the bounty on those who left the cozy over by the clue.
I need to get a message back home, home, home.
You ever feel weak, tweak, fleeting, peak piss bleeding, each clip wing twitch easy, sequence scenery, nuzzle of the beat buried deeply, bleak pitch scream uneasy, peachy, fleet move breezy, creep uncleanly, cadence diseasy, strange arranged speaking, makers of the queasy, all detached reasoning, here to match your fuck face fiendishly, Weatherman, born batch lunacy, in fact rational truancy, half last the truthy facts goonishly, cast back in a sad surrendering, extraordinary rendering, remember me, lurching, gnar, harsh, snarling, bar from the department of redundancy department, sign here, even obscene, iridescently froze, pros reside here, a mean streak, elite breed, design fear, nobody move, nothing and nothing will get invasive, I came from the lost, excavated, breathe exhaust cloud, favorite, creators of that this is not my day shit, grace on a day shift, without a trace, lost on debating it, the tug job, erase a claw pin kit, not now with more bang by the facelift. I used to give a hangnail fuck about patience. Now it's just to see money taken. Funny how morality is changing, evolving, dissolving. Disgrace is a mainstay, tragedy keeps calling. Everyone that mattered to me somehow keeps falling. Hooded creature knocking on the door, I'm just stalling. I need to get a message back home, home, home.
Weapons made, werewolf movies, wait, maybe. What am I, white man out? Wait, make me watch and mock you, sit and witness magic. A symbol like Washington Monument, a wondrous monotheistic compliment, a milestone for variety. This transmission's picked up on the air on the same face that's got an eye on me. 2 arms in the head, imagine we form with legs. Sword a tail, one sheath to scorch the lens. Bitter death awaits the taste of blood of good. Innocent people, welcome to my brotherhood. We're biodegradable, widely relatable. Though the soulless can't walk, their heads are highly inflatable. Eternity unattainable, rejected, burnt out of the ground, into the sky, out of the sky, into the dirt. When everything you learned or admired is disconnected, bring some wire. Traverse the moat to combust your kingdom's fire. Speaking, blinking, sinking, deep and distant. Tongues hanging out like a dog from speaking different. You can take the mark of the beast and take the mark of beast. Gathering all our dead masters, start the feast. Why are we still hungry, insatiable, useless codes? Or folding a pistol on a sheep in wolf's clothes. Animal farming, nothing's alarming. Sewage turned to drinking water, calming. The calm before the bombing. Something to anticipate, death cool, we'll sit and wait. Black clouds lingering, singed skin to dissipate. Bite me on the wrist, I'll still extend a hand, man, as a spill of the world. Until Earth's at its fill of man.
All right. What, you know, it's not time for that. I think I first heard of Weatherman through a daggone, at the time he was Milo, but Rab Ferrer, I think, rapped a bar about them.
That's that Def Jux era, you know?
Right. All right, what else we got?
We got Blockhead, who is a frequent collaborator of Aesop Rock. He produced a good chunk of his catalog, especially the majority of the earlier stuff in his catalog. This is Blockhead Jet Sun featuring Aesop Rock and Camo Tao.
All right. Here.
Sickly arthritic cane walker, mostly for the nosy neighbors, senior citizen up in my business. Post up daily out the building, hawking visible civilians to monitor the silly thrills of Simeons. Black card, wrong footed, bedazzled, I caress my artificial fatigues. Camoed initial handshake, I shook a shaky frail knuckle punch. Old stickler still sucker punch the 808s. He says it shakes the frames and plates, it won't happen again, sir. Lit back to your basement, ran, I'm snarling like a bobcat. Little man died by 79 years of combat and folded to bottom beater by the fuck that sits and critiques my take out the trash procedures. Steeper, iron blue dawn to dusk for months. So every time I exit the shelter, the two confront. And awkward salutations turn what up, turn how are you feeling? Turn let's sit and talk war over tobacco and tea leaves. Old man Rivers, poker face, seem thick red, whatever the soldier days before the bones decayed alone in Brooklyn. His throne has made him old mistakes and home replaced the golden age of worker man legwork over joker pink clones and hoodlums. I'll shape the shittiest, they've escaping the lineage, but goddamn it, if I'm a match, his story and deliverance and mystery is still apparent. Sometimes he quiet when he watch. I move, call him eyes on the block. So the shaky voice of panic was magnified through the line. Eyes on the block, box spoke timid. Ian, please come down, I need assistance. Flew out like, what the fuck, man, this cat's about to dial me. Jimmy the latch and found a trembling mess of fresh anxiety like, all I need's a conversation, calm me down, give me the the pills. Chills, finger the 9 on my celly, ready for kills. He's scared and lonely, I blank a bit, then come back on some how about them Yankee shit. How about this rain we getting? 60 minutes later, money slowly finds a calm and caught me staring at the yellowed photos on the wall. Said, this is my daughter, and this one is my grandson, and this one is my great-grandson, Maxie, isn't he handsome? Then broke into his life story of war, glory, and BK, and how the hood has changed since he was knee-high to a DJ. Strange days, I sorta nodded in agreement, but knew it would take me years to know what he meant. If somebody 3 times your age tells you today so strange, it makes your petty evolution clump up with a chump change. Bug, never to be shrugged up again. The bother's now settled, it's an honor to shake his hand, and never to be underestimated where he's sit, cause the eyes on the block seen some shit.
Now these are eyes for a friend of mine. He can drop you in the overdrive. If you thought you had the palm of your ground, put you on, put you out, put your life back in line. Oh, 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 yeah, 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 yeah.
So that's him singing there.
Okay, I was right.
Emma.
Okay.
And he had been working on an album prior to his death called King of Hearts. Okay. And it ended up getting released, I believe, in 2010, 2 years after he passed. And in a way, it's almost like his 808s. You know, it's a very interesting album. So if you guys are unfamiliar, I would recommend actually going to check that album out. As, you know, it's technically a posthumous album, but he had completed it prior to his passing.
Okay.
And I think it's an interesting kind of snapshot into, you know, a guy who was, I think, talented in a lot of different ways and really just starting to show off all of those different ways. The next record is from Fast Cars, Danger, Fire, and Knives, the project that got me into this guy. This is Aesop Rock, Rickety Rackety, featuring LP and Camo Tap.
And you know what up, Wiz? Yeah. Wait, who are these motherfuckers with me, though? Dog, I don't even know these cats, man. And smack dab in the middle of the cuddles and kills. Gorilla Jimmy City limits with a bucket of pills. Hollering, no, I don't immediately ameliorate. I'm gonna meet him, breed him, and rate him. See if I hate him.
Hard rock, run through the speaker top. Tweeting me the blue cones, dead phones in. A pack of lunchbox, walk to the stone. Jump into the chemical soul in my zone in. I'm irrational, paranoid, tragic. And the button on my chest says panic. Punch it, hold up, don't touch me. I'm a savage from a rabbit ass country.
You wanna get it, you wanna quit it, you need to quit it. Getting evicted, you little idiot, bitch, a ticket. It's so tricky the way you wanna go get your digits. Body you up at the point, somebody get his mistress.
You take a pitch black lung and a purple heart. Then you kick back once the inertia start. And when the shipwreck sunk through the perfect dark, the serpent's arch alerts every circle starts. The bloody salt water sounds the hors d'oeuvre alarm. And when the first alarm's found, we observe the art. Like a bellyacre won't kick face to the curb. Rather kick when the face already raped by the worms.
Tasmanian, pain riding. Very little to say to these politicians behind it, but this, you better loosen a noose or lose living. Cause little kids walking the ad quick to produce a business.
Well, you should medicate in the area that the pain is. And when you're in the street, you should peep the sets of strangers. Actors that are in fact the cast of chaos. They be looking for any situation they can play on. Respectively injecting these thoughts to taint us. Negative speaking, they be creeping the entertainers. When you out of doubt, they run to a route they'll save you. In retrospect, infect and pass in your papers.
I design, kill, pancake, penmanship. Federal analog, hard, unedited. With a CUNY degree in young numbness. Angels on the rooftop. How did they trumpet?
I was buried to the neck in the all-star bloopers. Periscope down, hot boss or cruiser. Porcelain computer authority will be overruled the second Chucky Uber. Alice News hit the sewers.
Riggedy raggedy, this city fit my style exactly. With the backspin and the fat laces, gazelle glasses, chase rap daily.
Rickety rackety.
Rickety rackety.
Rickety rackety. This city for my style exactly. Near the train tracks, in the garbage bags, where the cement cracks. We a part of that.
Riggedy raggedy.
Rickety rackety.
When you take two to the vein, and if there's two to the brain, you don't get used to the pain. Maniac bruising the cage. When guess what, you in the public, you be like, do it again. He's a motherfucking blood sucker, he can do what he can.
On the side of the block, do the bus stop. You paying a fare, that's a trust fund. Little ugly ass dog like some fun fuck. To batter the rush, I walk punch drunk. In a whole world of yours now. Before the steppers, a goose kick your door down. I'm in a getaway whip with Ace Grizzly. He got the same shit stitched in his missile.
Okay, left field. Stealth, dressed to kill. Self, megawatt with a horizontal neck spin, swims funny the vertical bobblehead, yes man.
When the evil falls in, it draws the pole and on to the core. It's better than that you represented the percentage. It wasn't finished and the call is haters. You wanna made it, we bought the flavors, niggas, you wanna hate us.
Anyone from Antagonist Squad to Family Tissue can testify that the look of my eyes is a genuine issue. I'm a freak in the flesh, penetrate lust, bathe the vaginal juices like otters up in the onions.
Don't pick at the misfit Lord Nancy LaCourse. No picnic, misled whores advancing. No business, insist bored with candy. Pure citizen X with that all fours dancing. Corporals landing, I'm sure all sore bone knit with rickety rackety porn fancy. We through the hell and high water hot zone. Deceased in a minute, the idiot got home.
Now I teach first grade and I wanna participate. I wanna grit the papers, but I don't wanna give them A's. FDF minus test time, set time. Call every parent and give them a piece of my mind. Cause I don't wanna give a good future, I'll shoot ya. With those, it's a rule. Okay, fuck minus flush mine. Even leaving them bruised up. Stack kids, pack you lunches in the cooler.
Rickety rackety, this city fit my style exactly. Near the fire ladder, where the wires gather. Drink water, eat fish, smile after.
Riggedy raggedy.
Rickety rackety.
Riggedy raggedy. This pussy fit my dick exactly. With a threesome, give it treatment. Sex on drugs, girl can't keep up.
Rickety rackety.
Rickety rackety.
Now, there's one more I want to play. This is something that came with explanation, though, from Aesop, so I'm going to read it. He said, one night, me and Camus made a whole album on GarageBand called Couch Boys. We made all the tracks on the spot, sitting on the couch, and freestyled everything, making the rule, quote, you must keep your first take, which made the outcome even more horrifying. Essentially just a night of uber nonsense from some pals. I uploaded the track, Couch Boys, from this session. The quality is poor, but it is what it is. Really makes me remember an awesome time in my life. Camus Tao was my best friend.
Wow.
So here's Couch Boys by Couch Boys.
This is my kind of shit. All right, here we go.
One take wonders.
Take one.
Motherfucking undies.
You better not.
How many motherfuckers coming in the crib with my crotch? Hold up, you. Okay, smoke this weed. Okay, play. I'm about to take you to the top, nigga. That's what's up. Hold up, for these boys.
Oh, wait, so serious. Drop this shit,
Hold
drop
up.
this shit. Okay.
Motherfuckers think they tight, but you think you sick. You should come on my crib and suck my dick. You think you motherfuckers got that weed we smoke, but your weed ain't good enough when we choke. We got sick and we threw up in our fucking bathroom. We acting like you got a motherfucking ass. Cool. Tryna come into the crib, your ass, you a fool. You fooling yourself. You ain't really cool. Use a motherfucking word twice before. I use motherfucker every time I rhyme galore. Hold up, you got a new nigga coming with cash. You got a new nigga coming in with a new ass. You say ass, let me feel it, make me feel it, make me steal it, make me so appealing. Motherfuckers come and make a killing. You got weed back, now we're stealing.
Now we're doing whatever we're feeling, cause that's the real thing. It was motherfucking AC was in the place. He told Camus to hook up the 808 bass. Now, we all in the spot, smoking weed every day, cause we tug them Glocks. If we up them blocks, we be selling the drugs. Motherfuckers really tend to not give a fuck.
A thug need a hug. Is that really wrong? Because I'm feeling kinda buzzed. A grown ass man who's feeling kinda fucked up. Like life, he lucked up. Took a lot of money to get out of the bag. Scratched it off, the motherfucker won. Damn. He went to cash the shit in at the bank. They said, you a motherfucker, no thanks. Don't act a fool when you in it. Motherfuckers come in the club, they got lyrics. On the drop, I said, come and spit it. No, cause the shit got rid of it. Get rid of it. I'm not sick of it. I'm kinda sick of it. I'm more sick of wit. I'm sick of these chicks. Baby, all of my friends trying to hug the dick.
Couch boys, 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 couch boys.
Hold on, let me finish it. Okay, go. I'm in the spot. You got the Glock. Motherfucker, come over and act a fool. We on the block. We sell the rock. Where your motherfuckers really need to go back to school. You don't rule. You don't do anything. I do everything. I'm on every bling. I got diamonds and jewels around my neck. I got diamonds and jewels that are around my wrists for respect. 4 finger rings, that's the way. We got the highlights that come in, they don't play. We the motherfuckers on the block that don't care. Because spicy coming down with a snare.
Couch boys, 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 couch boys. Hold on. Now motherfuckers wanna hear about the name. The niggas always talking shit, but they ain't got no game. They ain't got no house, they ain't got no car. These motherfuckers is all fucked up, they up in the stars. And they going to jail, they should be going to hell. They should be coming on back, they should be saying, oh well, we lost. Motherfuckers wanna come and get off, and we bought everything that we can get our hands on, and we on. When we coming through the motherfucking spot, you niggas wanna call and come the cops, and niggas talking shit. Roll up box. Hold up, they roll up, and they roll up in the box. They roll inside a box. Hold up for these niggas, hold up for these bitches. Hold up for these motherfuckers got them itches. We got them stitches, and we giving stitches. And we giving motherfuckers everything to niggas, and we getting riches. Couch boys, 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 couch boys. Okay, turn this motherfucker down, turn this motherfucker down, say burn this, burn motherfucking down, say burn the fucking ground, say burn this, burn the fucking down, burn this, burn it to the ground, say burn this, burn it to the ground, say couch boys, couch boys, couch boys.
Another class.
Something light to end on, something fun.
Folks, if you don't rap, it's one of the joys of rapping. It's just rapping with your friends. Like, it is. It definitely is. I guess I only have 2 more things to say. One is that just to tie back to what I was saying up top. I think after the first major loss in my life, every subsequent loss, I get the sense that I'm not allowing myself to feel the full brunt of it. And I fear that one day someone's going to pass and it's going to be devastating for me in a way I've never experienced in my life, because I think I've compartmentalized every loss since, because I've lost my grandma, I've lost pets, but like, and I talked with my mom about this one time, because one of her friends who I knew, rest in peace to TT Lowe, we were at the hospital when she was sick and she was not in a good way. And we like left the room and we were just talking outside the room, my mom and I, about like loss. And I was telling her, I've never, after, Big Granny died, I never was able to allow myself to feel that again. I think for my own protection, I wasn't letting myself really process death the same way, And so this song always gets me because it's like, it feels like, someday someone's going to say, and I feel like I'm definitely trying to keep myself from that, but yeah, obviously that's futile. So that's the one thing. And two, less weighty is the music here kind of reminds me of the guitars in Pete and Pete, in a sort of like in a more emo version. It's like, instead of like Hey Sandy, it's like you fell out of contact with Sandy from Hey Sandy, so these guitars are a little sadder. Yeah, instead of do, it's, you know, do, you know. But anyway, I'm moved by the record. I'm sure that's obvious, folks. So
yeah,
it
a
gets
perfect
dark.
record to me.
I don't blame you a single bit. So would you like to move on? Because I don't necessarily want to keep thinking about how I'm the suicidal king.
Well, I was saying I was dreading reviewing this one, but, you know, I knew we had to do it. So, all things considered, I think we kept it together. We might have bummed people out, maybe made them think about things that they don't feel like thinking about while listening to a rap podcast, but it is what it is, you know.
Well, it is what it is, but also go stuff it, Post Malone, because number one,
and you ain't black.
And number two, Aesop Rock ain't black either, but he understands that rap music can do a lot of things. It can take you a lot of places, okay, as evidenced by this song review. All right. So if we took somebody somewhere that they didn't intend to go through this review or through hearing this song for the first time, I'm sorry, but hey, it's beautiful that rap can even express such emotions. So here you go. All right. Would you like to move? I know I would like to move on.
We have to move on. It's time to move on.
Okay, let's get out the car.